Let's do it, fellas.
Do it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yo, gather around the fire, everybody. It is Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Rick Kamla, upper right. It is Dr. X, Dr. Phil McDonald, foremost radiologist in America. He is the founder, the creator, the patriarch of the X-Rated Sports Network, and a hell of a sports analyst, especially when it comes to injuries. AM Pfeffer, upper left, also a hell of a sports analyst, also anchor, author, businessman, lower right. Dwight Walton, also a kick-butt analyst, Canadian basketball legend, TSN correspondent. We are expected to have the weather in here at some point. The flamethrower, the logo man, Dennis Scott, a.k.a. 3D. He's got some stuff going on. He should fall in here as we get going. All right, so guys, so many cool topics to talk about. We're going to talk a lot about Morant today, okay? But the lead story is going to be Giannis and the buzzer beater last night. We're going to talk Bills and Chiefs game going back to Sunday. We're going to look back and reminisce at just a phenomenal World Series. I mean, as tasty as a steak at Ruth's Chris. And then there's a lot of injuries in sports, and we're going to break it down with the great Dr. X. So, guys, let's start with Giannis. Game-winning buzzer beater last night. Best rivalry in the NBA right now for me is Pacers and Bucks. And Giannis got his revenge for losing in the playoffs to Indiana last year. He went 33, 13, and 5, 2 steals. He had a poster dunk on the entire city. And I just want to vet this quickly and then ask you guys about MVP. You may be wondering, is that the best shot of Giannis's career? It's right there. It's kind of a tough choice here, okay? Because both of his buzzer beaters are very, very similar. They're both like either turnarounds or fadeaways. One was from the right elbow, Dr. X, at Madison Square Garden against Jordan Hicks back in 2017. And then we had last night, of course, and I thought the last night was the second best shot. I thought his shot at MSG was more heavily contested. and he really needed to kind of do a fadeaway to get away from the defense. He just set it up. Like, that was an alone in the gym shot last night for him. The defense didn't even matter. Nobody even rose up to contest the shot. And it was a free shot, tie game, okay? In the shot at the Garden, Dr. X, the Knicks were up 1. And Giannis, made that. That was not a free shot. You miss it, you lose. All right, so let's get into this. And Dr. X, you first. Is Giannis the MVP of the league right now?
Man, I mean, I know a lot of people were saying that Giannis would have Wemby over Giannis, but after a 9-point performance, I think that's a little harder to push. But, it's a long season. I think Wemby's stats will win out. His blocks are going to win out. His rebounds are going to win out. So I think in terms of Wemby versus Giannis, I still have Wemby, but right now Giannis has probably been the most consistent player. He may not have a 50 ball, but he definitely is the most consistent.
Dwight, Walton, how about you? Is Giannis your MVP right now? Let's go to Dwight. Can you hear me? Is Giannis your MVP right now?
You know what? To coin the phrase from the person I watch a lot, Stephen A. Smith, I think this MVP situation is fluid. I think it's very fluid right now, simply based on his subpar performance the other night against the Phoenix Suns. Giannis Antetokounmpo has come out this season. Again, I already have Victor Wembanyama winning the MVP, the most improved player, and the defensive player of the year. All right? But again, it is fluid right now, the way Giannis is playing. I understand that last night's game against the Pacers, and Rick, to your point, it might be the best rivalry currently that we have in the NBA. But the reality is the Pacers aren't very good right now because of the injury woes that they're going through right now. So the Bucks did win last night. It was a great shot. Statistics, the overall impact that Giannis is having on his team. Maybe today Giannis is the MVP, but I'm still going to stick with who I have as Yama. Simply the way the Spurs have come out. He's come out of the blocks strong. Spurs are playing. I still have Victor Wembanyama slightly ahead.
Understood, Dwight. We apologize for some technical difficulties here on Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. AM Pfeffer, is Giannis your MVP? Has he done enough, this body of work, what he did last night? Last week, he was in the discussion, but none of us picked him as MVP. Are you doing that now?
No, I'm still not coming off SGA. I mean, Giannis has been incredible. The splits are unbelievable when you break down his 6 or 7 categories across the board. But to me, the incumbent SGA has not done enough to lose it right now. He still doesn't have his running mate in the back. They are, the Thunder are 7-0 still. He has been incredible. He's averaging over 30 points a game. And I'm still harping back to the first couple of games of the season when he single-handedly took them to 2-0 in the double overtime games. He has done nothing to lose this award to me. And I understand how great Victor's been. I understand Jokic is a triple-double on average every night. I understand what Giannis is doing. I understand there's a number of other guys who should be in the mix, all the way down through number 10. But at the moment, SGA, still my MVP.
So I'm going to give you my top 5 here, guys. And AM, I agree with you. Last week it was Wemby, and I'm not flipping off of Wemby because of one bad game against the Suns, who did a great job of crowding him and making him uncomfortable. And they kicked their butt that night. I watched that game. I was very, very surprised. The Suns basically went up 20 and stayed up 20, and the Suns really didn't mount a push. It's not because of that, okay? It's because SGA is my MVP right now. I love what AM said. I agree. They're 7-0. Best record in the NBA. His stats are phenomenal, okay? Maybe not as phenomenal as Jokic and Wemby and Giannis, but he's 7-0. And Chet Holmgren's missed 3 games. J-Dub hasn't played yet. They've had some other little injuries pop up, and they just win every game. He's third in the league in scoring at 33.6. He's going 33, 5, and 6 with a block, with a steal, shooting 52.6%. That's Jordan-esque stat stuff right there. And stat-wise, he's very close to a mirror image to Michael Jordan. Game-wise, it's different. Number 2 for me, guys, is Wemby. 5-1 record, 4.7 blocks, first in the league, 13.7 boards, second in the league, 26.7 points, that's 11th. I've got Giannis third now, guys. He is rising, but I feel good about this. 5-2, 34 points per game, leads the league. Third in boards at 13.3. Giannis is at 6.8 assists. What? He's at 1 block, 1 steal, 1 3, and shooting 68%, which is 5th. Those numbers are unbelievable. Austin Reeves is 4th for me, guys. 6-2 record. Luke has only played 4 games. All right, I get the stats are amazing, but guess what? They're not even listed on the leaderboard right now. Hasn't played enough games. Reeves is their MVP. He's 4th overall to me. 31.1, that's 5th. 9.3 dimes, that's 4th. 5.1 boards, 1.4 steals. Guys, this is the stat on Reeves. He's 3rd in foul attempts per game. 10.3, and he's making 90.3% of his free throws. He has been phenomenal. And then Tyrese Maxey's 5 for me. 5-1 record, 33.7 PPG, second in the league, and he's second in the league in threes as well. So I got SGA. AM's got SGA, and a lot of Wemby also going on here. But Giannis is rising now, guys. When I say Ja Morant, Dwight Walton, what immediately comes to mind? When I say Ja Morant, go.
Polarizing figure. A player that needs to figure out what's most important to him right now. Basketball has afforded him the opportunity to provide for himself, for his family, and for his people around him. Great basketball player. Several years ago, he was probably going to be pegged the face of the NBA because of the excitement, because of the aura, because of the swag, the clothes, the hairstyle, everything he brought to the table on the basketball floor. But unfortunately, things have happened off the court. Taylor Jenkins, his coach, was fired last season. We could talk about the reasons why he was fired. Now Tomas Isolo is the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm hearing reports that there are clashes between Morant and Isolo. Not only, obviously, what we saw last Friday night after the Lakers beat them in Memphis last Friday night, but there's just issues. If we hear something from a credible reporter, that means it's 10 times worse behind the scenes. So right now, John needs to figure out his priority. He needs to, as he says, the same thing as Jimmy Butler last season, needs to get his joy back in terms of basketball. Is that going to happen in Memphis? Is that going to happen someplace else? That remains to be seen. I think Memphis should do right by him. I know that he's had issues off the court, but I think Memphis needs to figure out a solution with Ja Morant rather than trying to pawn him off to somebody else, so to speak, and just give him the guidance and whatever else he needs off the court so he can get his joy back and be the face of that Memphis Grizzlies franchise. He is polarizing, but at the end of the day, he is still must-see TV as far as I'm concerned, and the Memphis Grizzlies should do everything in their power to not only help him out, but to keep him as a part of their franchise.
So I'm going to go to Dr. X next. Let's set this up a little bit more, and I want to play some sound. We have our technical director, Kai, our producer, Jason. They're phenomenal. So Ja Morant last Friday, after losing to the Los Angeles Lakers, we're going to play this sound for you here in a minute. The team suspended him 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team after this. He did return on Monday night. He missed Sunday's game against Toronto, NL. They took another L last night. Morant had 18, 5, and 10, did not play well. 5 of 16.
What went wrong for you today?
Minus 5. But guys, play that sound, please.
Do you feel like, I mean, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
You ask him. They had a whole spiel in here, so.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff. Should I play more or not?
What had been done?
So there you go. And the team suspended him after that. Now, Shams Charania with some reporting here. The suspension came as a result of Tuomas Isolo challenging Morant's leadership and effort in a post-game exchange. And Morant responded in a tone deemed inappropriate, according to sources. Shams also said that there's been tension in the last several days around Ja Morant, his feelings towards the first-year head coach, Tuomas Isolo's rotation patterns, his plays, but it really culminated after and during the loss to the Lakers Friday. Morant and Isolo had an exchange where Isolo called out Morant's leadership and effort in front of the whole team, and his teammates and staffers all looked on. Morant responded in what the team deemed an inappropriate and dismissive way, according to sources, and that's when the Grizzlies huddled up, gave him the one-game suspension. So, Dr. X, is it okay for a coach, in your opinion, in your experience, you're a team owner in the TBT, okay? So you're involved in some dicey decisions with players, coaches, stuff like that. Is it okay for a coach to call out the star player in front of everybody? Is that okay?
Not only is it okay, Rick, but it's actually needed. A lot of the time when you get these star players, the players who are coming up have to see that if the star player is held accountable, then that makes them buy in a little bit more, makes them lock in a little bit more. The way Ja Morant's acting, we expect pro players to like carry themselves a certain way because that's why they got there. There's tons of guys who are sometimes even more talented than some of the pros, but don't make it because of their attitude, their commitment, and they're just a headache to deal with. The way Ja's acting, it's like a disgruntled rec player. You know, you don't it's like, why are you being like that? It's especially like we know Ja's worth it, we know his talent's worth it, we know what he's getting paid is worth it, but after having all those issues previous years with the gun allegations, with all the stuff he's done before, it's kind of you would think he's walking up thin ice and he would just kind of you know just go along to get along and not be so demonstrative publicly. If you have a beef, like, let that stay indoors. So I think he's handling it in a way that he's trying to leave. Ultimately, like, there was another incident when they played the Detroit Pistons yesterday, and there was a scuffle with some team players, and he decided to not even, look like he was trying to take it for his player. Everybody else was looking there. He kind of was like walking across to the bench to the other side, like he was walking through an aisle in the grocery store, like someone said who saw it the other day, one of the commentators earlier this morning. And to me, that means he's mentally checked out. Usually players, if they have a beef with their coach, they won't necessarily, they'll still have their own teammates back. But to me, I feel like he's kind of not even on that level. He's kind of tuning out and kind of just mentally checked out for the whole team. And that's kind of concerning.
Great answer, man. Great answer. AM, let's shift gears here a little bit. And then I want Dwight to go on this, and really all of us, I want to go on this right here. Does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage? This whole premise came from conversations and debates I had with Antonio Daniels on Sirius XM NBA radio. This was a thing that we talked about a lot, and people really dug it. And I think you can't apply it to everybody with a blanket, right? But certain examples, and this is just this is a marquee light. It's got a glow to it about Ja Morant in this question. AM Pfeffer, you first. Does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage?
I think for certain teams it does. And we're probably going to talk about where his trade destinations are. For Memphis at this point, after 6 years on that squad and what this is borne out, no, it no longer does. And, this is really something that has illuminated for me. I wanted to think about, I just was thinking about being a fan of the NBA and the level of disappointment going on with Ja Morant and Zion Williamson at the time, because to me, they're the 1-2 punch. And I was just really like going through in my head the last 40, 45 years. I went back to 1980 and just looked at the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft and was trying to like correlate, was trying to put this together. Has any has this happened in history previously where like the number one and number two, have come with so much baggage, so much promise, and so much excitement for their teams and their cities and the fan base, and then have just fizzled out and disappointed like these two guys. 2001, Kwame Brown and Tyson Chandler, though I don't think it's really comparable. 2017, there was actually this run from 17, 18, 19. 2017 was Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball, but that was interesting. I mean, Lonzo had baggage because of his father, and Markelle, I think, really illuminated something going on with mental health that actually turned into a positive overall. And then in 2018, you got DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley, and then we know the couple of picks after that, especially Luka. But 2019, I mean, nothing is like Zion and Ja. And Zion, he's got his own story, but what's gone on with Ja is probably the most disappointing thing that's gone on in the NBA in the last 5 or 6 years. And, to wrap this up, to put a little bow on it, no, his talent for Memphis at this point, his talents do not outweigh the drama. He needs a change of scenery.
Dwight Walton, does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage?
I'm going to give the response that I think the Memphis Grizzlies are thinking. I know my response before was talking about the Grizzlies need to try and find a solution rather than just pawning him off. But that being said, I'm pretty smart about this stuff. I think Ja Morant is extension eligible after this season. I'm not sure if the Grizzlies really want to extend him past this season. And I think Ja Morant and his people understand that. And it's truly possible right now that he's trying to angle himself out of Memphis. So I think it might be time for a change of scenery in terms of Ja Morant. But I would love to see Ja Morant stay in that market of Memphis. It is a small market, but he has brought some vibrancy to that market, some excitement. Again, before all of this, he was one of the more exciting, if not the most exciting player that we had in the NBA. So based on how the Grizzlies are handling the situation, I believe that they don't want to extend him past this season. And I think Morant understands that, and he's trying to angle himself out of that situation.
Dr. X, does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage?
If he's repotted into another situation, then I think it would be good for him. I think a lot of times the talent is there, and sometimes you're in a new situation to kind of just really reach your fullest potential. And sometimes there could be like just like a mental fatigue for a situation where you're not at your best anymore because you've mentally checked out. So his talent is still there. He doesn't have any major injuries to talk about. And so if I were the other 29 teams, I'd be finding a way to see if we could put a core of players around him and coaching staff as well as probably even a sports psychologist to like and I say that honestly without it's needed in this day and age. I think people need to kind of just need better PR and also need to hear themselves and see how they're perceived publicly. And so I just think he needs some guidance. He's still young, and I wouldn't give up on him yet. And I think that's the approach the other 29 teams should take. But I do think it's time for him to leave Memphis. But I don't think Memphis should give him up for just nothing. So Memphis should be very creative. The people they've hired to be GM and things of that nature. This is where your money is made right here. So you have to trade the star player and get back equal or more value at this point.
We are going to dive down that road in just a second here in terms of a trade. There is B Dot, and B Dot is
Is that the salon?
Stephen A. Dot.
B Dot. What is up, dude?
How you doing, man? I'm just getting my Allen Iverson on right now. This is the only little time period I'll be able to get my hair braided, so I had to take advantage of it, man.
This is
Okay,
hilarious.
okay.
This is awesome. So Brandon Armstrong dropping in here. B-Dot, let's bring you in on the Ja Morant discussion here. Does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage at this point?
I don't think so. I think Memphis has been really good to him. They went over and got a European coach. Similar to the LeBron situation in Cleveland, where they went and got the European coach, and he was trying to play. I don't want to say the right way, but he wanted to try to install some of that. Hey, I'm the head coach. You have to listen to me. And LeBron wasn't really feeling it. And I don't want to say LeBron got him fired, but they end up getting rid of him and moving on to another coach. I think similar in Memphis. I think he wanted to the new head coach wanted to put his foot down, and let Ja know that, hey, bro, I'm running this so that everybody else around can respect him. Ja's not happy. Ja doesn't like the style of play. Ja. I mean, I don't want to say you can't be mad at him because it was a success. When he was doing what he was doing, and the style of play with their old coach that he respected and enjoyed, but looking at this situation, Ja's not happy. They're gonna have to trade him. I don't know where. I'm thinking Phoenix, man. He might as well come to Arizona. I'm trying to think of somewhere, where they can get some legitimate pieces back. I think Arizona, the Phoenix, we have some good pieces here that would do well. That would do well in Memphis, and get him over here, team him up with D Book, and let him go crazy in the Valley. But anywhere else that would fit, it's tough. I mean, Milwaukee, no, I don't think he would want to go to Milwaukee. It's really nothing that they can give. They don't want Kuzma. They don't. I doubt they get rid of a Miles Turner because they already got Jaren Jackson over there, even though Miles is the center. Um, I don't. Not the Rockets. I know they need a point guard, but they've won 4 games in a row with Amon doing his thing. So I think the best bet it has to be Phoenix. It would have to be Phoenix unless they send him to Miami. But what are they getting back from Miami? Are you throwing in Hami? Who else? Davion Mitchell? A Norman Powell? I don't. So I think the best bet may be Phoenix.
Brandon Armstrong hanging out with the guys here on Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. All right, let's get back. I want to give you my answer here on, does Ja Morant's talent outweigh his baggage? It does not, and it hasn't for a while. Maybe my biggest problem with Ja, and I do really appreciate the player, the jet propulsion, how unique he is, the swagger, the way he lights up a city and an arena. I comped him in some ways to Allen Iverson that way. He's a vibe guy, okay? He vibes out his team, vibes out the arena. He vibes out road cities, okay? He's a 1,000-watt personality. So I think Dwight said it. I'm not giving up on him. I'm not either. But his talent does not outweigh his baggage right now. His baggage is a mountain. His talent is a foothill, okay, right now. Think about the games played, guys. Last year, 50. The year before, 9. The year before, 61. The year before, 57. The year before, 63 and 67. That's not good, okay? He doesn't bring defense to the wood. He's a terrible three-point shooter. He's terrible. He's a 31% career three-point shooter. Guys, that's not average. That's terrible. This year, he's shooting 13% from three-point range. He's shooting 39% overall. I completely agree with you guys. He is checked the heck out and definitely wants out of Memphis. He is, and the signs of him checking out started even under Taylor Jenkins. Probably a big reason why Taylor Jenkins was let go was to appease Ja. I don't know all the details there. I'm just speculating from the sideline. But not a three-point shooter, doesn't play defense. He's not consistently available, okay? These are all, and then you have the gun stuff and problems with coaches and all that stuff, okay? So, no, his talent does not outweigh his baggage. Let's talk trade destinations. B-Dot just mentioned Phoenix, okay? And there's a report that teams around the league are monitoring the Ja Morant situation. Guys, it's on and popping. I believe, and it hasn't been reported yet, but I believe that the Ja Morant sweepstakes are on. If you're Zach Kleiman, the GM of the Grizzlies, you got to be on the phone right now. You do. If teams are calling you, you got to field it. You got, hey, what are you going to offer, right? I'll listen. But I think that there should be a strong motivation to trade Ja Morant as soon as possible. Don't let this get any worse. Like the James Harden deal in Houston. Remember when that was just getting so weird and he's missing games. He's out kicking it at clubs. It's what is happening here, dude? Remember when he no-showed training camp that year? You don't want it to get to that because then trade value starts to decrease a little bit. Dr. X, where do you want to see Ja Morant traded? Or, who should trade for Ja Morant? Where do you want to see him play? What do you think would be a good destination for him to maybe get the scales more balanced in the talent and baggage departments?
Well, I would say that any trade, I'm going to say we got it. We all have to be responsible and say for who. We can't just say, oh, just throw them out there. I think there are definitely two teams. B Dot just did a collab post to X-Rated Sports Network that actually gave a poll as to if we would want to see him play with Zion Williamson. And I think right now that's actually winning out. I know they were AAU teammates and the number 1 and number 2 pick, and Ja actually jumped RJ Barrett, who was supposed to be the number 2 pick, to be the instead. And then so I would say I would like to see Ja with Zion. That would be nice. And I would trade him for Javante Murray, because I think he adds that that defensive prowess, as well as he's a good shooter. And well, not a good shooter, but he's a better shooter than John Morant. And I think that, once he comes back from his injury, he'd be a player worth it. And maybe they throw in a Murray, a 3-point shooter, or maybe they throw in another player, or a player like a Zach Edey or something like that. I think definitely the Pelicans have the pieces, and maybe a Herb Jones to get John Morant. I think that would make sense. Maybe that might even be something to entice Zion to stay. My second pick would be Phoenix. I agree with B Dot with that as well. So him playing with what's the other guy's name? Dwight from Team
Dylan
Canada.
Green.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Dylan Brooks.
So
Dylan
Brooks,
Brooks.
exactly. Yep, Dylan Brooks. So I feel like him being reunited with that guy, but you also have a stabilizing shooting guard that can shoot his behind off in Book. So, and then they have a plethora of bigs that they could possibly give to the Pelicans. Some of them, maybe Nick Richards, maybe Mark Williams. So I think those two teams would be an ideal destination for John Morant.
AM Pfeffer, you're next here. Where do you want to see Ja Morant play next? I think we all agree that a trade needs to happen and will happen. Where do you want to see him play?
Yeah, before I answer this question, I've just got to say, whatever's going on in the bottom right of our box with what's happening with B-Dot right now is such an awesome power move. It's hard not to just give this man some credit. I mean, this is literally like getting like a shave, like when you're running a board meeting somewhere. This is so good. I love it.
You can't see the little kids that's on the floor that I'm trying to hand candy to so they can leave me alone.
Even I mean, it just adds flavor to what's and literally like Mario Kart behind you, like the explosion out of the sun. Everything that's going on in that box is perfect. So thank you for it.
I love it. Great father.
my answer, no. Don't throw Ja Morant. Do not put him in Miami. Do not put this man in New Orleans. Do not even put him in the Phoenix Scottsdale area. I think he belongs at this point to go do a little penance in Northern California, and I think that they should probably be wanting to bring him there as well. And I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings. And look, a lot of this is actually like what actually matches up, all right? Think about what Sacramento has in terms of assets to give. First of all, they do not have their own number 1 pick this year, but next year they have 2, as well as 2027. So they've got, in 2026, they've got Houston's top 4 protected pick, number 1, and in 2027, they have not only Philadelphia's top 4 protected pick, but they have the Nuggets' top 5 protected pick. So there's assets to throw here. I mean, pick a winner who you want to throw back. First of all, you're going to have to start with DeMar DeRozan, right? He's signed through 2026, but he's only partially guaranteed for next year in terms of his salary. All of it was front-loaded for the first 2 years when he re-signed with the Kings. So there's a money match there that might actually work this year. Then after that, it's Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, Doug McDermott. I mean, pick of the litter here, what you want to do. I think if you're the Kings, you do everything you can to keep Domantas Sabonis and then just start building around that. I mean, you shipped out to Aaron Fox and you're absolutely exciting backcourt guy, your point guard there. So it's like, bring in Ja Morant. I mean, you had some electricity in that building when he was there, when Fox was there. Try it with Morant. I mean, at this point, if you're the Sacramento Kings, what do you have to lose? Make this work.
Shaq's got to make a move, no doubt about it. That would definitely increase the interest in Sacramento. I'm not sure too many of us are interested in the Kings. They're just so mid, right? They're so mediocre. They're always right around 41-41. Dwight Walton, who should trade for John Morant?
Well, before I give my response, the Grizzlies should do everything in their power to trade. If they're going to trade John Morant, trade him out of the Western Conference. All right? That's first order of business. But the question is, where would I like to see him? Rick, I've already given you my answer through various text messages over the last several days. I would love to see John Morant somehow end up playing with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, they are in the Western Conference. I don't think Memphis is in the business of trying to help any current contenders get even better. But as you've heard me say, I think that the Timberwolves this past summer didn't do anything to truly improve the Timberwolves and to give Anthony Edwards the playmaking guard that he needs in order to get the Timberwolves to get past the Western Conference Finals and into the finals. I just think if you put John Morant in that situation with Anthony Edwards and you simply give up Rob Dillingham, Terrence Shannon Jr., send Michael Conley Jr. back to Memphis, and whatever other assets, either another rotation player or draft assets, whatever the Timberwolves have, I would love to see John Morant paired with Anthony Edwards in that backcourt. That would put fear. The Timberwolves already put fear in the Western Conference. That would just make it even worse for the Western Conference, and I think they'd be a great backcourt together. Again, Memphis should try to trade Ja, if they're going to do that, to the Eastern Conference, but my preference right now would be to pair John Morant with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota.
You're on mute, Rick.
I'm a Wolves fan, guys, and I don't really want that. I like the theory, Dwight. I really, really like the theory. I just don't trust Ja. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him to stay healthy. I don't trust him to be available in April and May when it matters most. But and depending on what they give up, Dwight, I could become really, really excited about that. Just as we sit right now, I'm not really feeling it. Who should trade for John Morant? I've got the Atlanta Hawks. Guys, we have two teams with big problems on their hands. We have the Memphis Grizzlies, all the Ja stuff, and we have Trae Young and the Hawks. The Hawks don't want to max him out. Trae is a max player. We have a problem, Houston, okay? So they one for one, max player for max player, star point guard for star point guard. Let's go. Hit the reset button. Now, does Trae Young want to go to Memphis and play? Probably not. But if Memphis wants to pay him max money, that's going to make him feel a lot better about that. And when you get Zach Edey back with Aldama, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cedric Howard looks like a nice draft pick. Zach Kleiman can draft his butt off. And then you'll have Trae Young, who makes teammates better and sprays 11, 12 assists out per game. I don't think Memphis would win big with Trae, at least not this year with this roster construction. But Atlanta's got to move Trae Young. Memphis has to move John Morant. And here's the other part of that, the Atlanta side of that. I know that city very, very, very well. I lived there 11 years. Was on radio, was on TV. I was out at games and bars, meeting people, taking a big old bite out of Atlanta, okay? I know that city. I know that culture. They are going to freak out if they get Ja Morant in a good way, okay? Sports talk radio, lit up. We got Ja Morant. And look, Atlanta loves Trae Young. That's going to be but it's Ja Morant. It's 1,000-watt guy. He's an entertainment guy. That's an entertainment city, okay? Love Michael Vick. Love Dominique Wilkins. Guess what? Two of the most electrifying players we've ever had in any sport, Dominique and Michael Vick. Atlanta just absolutely adores, and I don't want to use a stronger word, but they love those guys. Those guys can do no wrong in Atlanta. Ja Morant would fit that, and I think Atlanta would be I don't know if they'd be happier about getting Ja, to the ratio of oh my God, I can't believe we traded Trae. But something's got to happen here. The Hawks don't want to pay him. He out. And so Atlanta needs to come to grips with that. Y'all aren't going to have Trae Young for very much longer. Who should you be mad at? Tony Ressler, okay? He's the owner of the team. He's the dumbass that doesn't want to max out Trae Young, all right? So be mad at him, but now you got to go get another guy. And to me, go get a Showtime type of player in John Morant. He will absolutely light up State Farm Arena. All right, I want to get let's bring B-Dot back on here and get a little update on the AI look here. But I also want to ask you a question here, B-Dot, and this is kind of like, I don't know, maybe from the sarcastic realm a little bit. Joel Embiid was fined $50,000 for a lewd gesture. He does the crotch chop, right? I freaking love that celebration. It makes me laugh my butt off every single time. I don't really see anything lewd or offensive about it. He's not. Giannis grabbed his junk after making the shot last night. Okay, that's a lewd gesture. And I'm not mad at Giannis. He was in the moment, just hit a game winner, okay? But he literally grabbed his junk, okay? Like a lewd gesture. No, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It comes from wrestling. But Joel Embiid tweeted out, y'all better start finding the refs for doing the lewd blocking foul gesture since I'm not allowed to do it, which I just thought was so awesome. Like, because they do the block, right, where they hit both sides of their hip, right? It's very, very close to what Joel Embiid does with his lewd gesture. So, B-Dot, talk to me about that, man.
Man, that's Joel. That's probably the comeback of the year. That is hilarious. Oh, I like it. Honestly, if the league is not going to find the refs for making bad calls or missing calls, you gotta find for something. You know that hip thrust. We're in a world today where anything can be taken out of context, and if we want to be equal to the players, then we got to find a refs. They got to find something, or they can't be putting too much enthusiasm in the blocking call with the hip thrust. Just a little, little small pumps to the hips, but you don't got to do the whole. You don't have to do the whole. The triple H. You don't got to put the hips into it. All right now. Right? We don't know what's going on at home. Like we said, we know Clay over there enjoying his stallion. We don't need to know nothing about the refs and how good their thrust game is. Okay. So I 100% agree with you. 100%.
Can I interject here, please?
Yes, go.
Okay, hold on. As a resident official on this platform here, we understand why Joel Embiid is doing the hip thrust as opposed to what the referees are doing with the hip thrust. It's clear as day the intent of Joel Embiid. We know what the referees meaning with what they do it. So for Joel to, first of all, okay, it's funny, haha, right? But for Joel to compare what he does to an official, to me, he's trying to justify his act, and it makes completely no sense to the situation, to me, and I'm sure to most people out there. We understand the difference. We know what you're trying to do, Joel. You're trying to show the other team up. You're trying to make an obscene gesture. Referees are giving the blocking signal. So the comparisons aren't the same. While you may be trying to do a funny, that the comparison to me is absolutely wrong, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, Joel's got jokes. He calls himself Trowell Embiid. I don't think he actually means this. I think he's just bleeping.
No, I get that. Yes, I get that too.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Okay. So B-Dot, how are we doing, man? How are we doing? How's the progress coming here?
Man, by my forehead, y'all really can't see it, but it's getting there. Okay, it's getting. I just need to throw a do-rag on. I've been wearing my hair out, been Macy graying it, for the last couple months. So I just want to braid it up so I can put the do-rag on. But it's coming along. It's coming. Not quite SGA, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. All right, so let's move on here, guys, and talk about the Bills and Chiefs matchup on Sunday. Obviously huge, right around the corner here, guys. We're going to be talking about the Dodgers dynasty, and then Dr. X Dr. X is going to be flexing with a bunch of awesome injury analysis. All right, so the Bills beat the Chiefs, one of the biggest games of the year, MVP quarterback showdown, and Josh Allen kicked Patrick Mahomes' butt. Josh Allen was awesome, 23 of 26, 273, TD throw, 2 TD runs. Mahomes was terrible. 15 of 34? What? 250 yards, a pick, and he had 1 carry for 5 yards. That's literally about as bad as it will ever get from the great Patrick Mahomes. James Cook was a rock star, ran for a $114. The Bills won this game on the ground. They almost doubled up the Chiefs rushing, 141-79. To me, the Chiefs need to upgrade their running back room immediately, okay? And it's probably not going to happen. Trade deadline is today and stuff like that. But they got to go draft themselves a dynamic running back, all right? Like a stud, a 4.37, 5'10", 215-pound stud that can tote the rock for you. They don't have that guy right now. The refs were a little bit weird. There was some very pro-Bills refereeing in that game. But let's ask this question. And Dr. X, I want to go to you first. Who would you rather have for a big NFL game? Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes?
Well, that's an obvious answer for me. I got to go with Patrick Mahomes with all the Super Bowl rings and also the head-to-head matchups between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes seems to have, won this matchup over, the span of their careers. And as they like to say, Josh Allen is still trying to climb Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't surpassed him. I think I'm glad he got the MVP last year, but honestly, he has a lot to do to win that matchup in the head-to-head to say that this guy is better, or I would rather him in a clutch situation. Josh Allen is very clutch for the record, but I'll go with Patrick Mahomes all day.
A.M. Pfeffer, you're next.
Yeah, I love this question. If I could parse this out, Rick, if you'll allow me, pre-game, before the big game, you're running through the tunnel. Who's exciting you? Who's your quarterback that you feel best about if you're a player? I'm going to say Josh Allen. I think that is the big game guy. But if you're saying, if we can parse this out and be like, there's one quarter in the game, it's the fourth quarter, and the game is close, it's Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if that's a cop-out answer of what we're looking for, but it's like, I'm trying to answer your question in terms of the game, pre-game, the big game. At this point, it's actually Josh Allen. And it's hard for me to say that, but that's my answer.
Very interesting. Josh is on the ascent. He just keeps getting better with each game, too. I mean, 23 of 26 is spectacular. Dwight Walton, would you rather have for a big game? You're the owner, the GM, the coach, whoever. Make your pick. You can go into that game with Pat Mahomes, or with Josh Allen.
For me, the response here is pretty cut and dry. If you're talking about the regular season, Rick, I think Josh Allen is the quarterback I would go with. But ultimately, this is about winning games when it matters most. And Patrick Mahomes has gotten the better of Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is the answer here. Regular season is not where legends are made. Reputations and legends are made in the postseason. And until Josh Allen can get over that Patrick Mahomes hump, it's Patrick Mahomes all day, every day. Patrick Mahomes, even in that game this past Sunday, when we thought that the Bills pretty much dominated the whole game, the game was still in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and we were fearful that here we go again. As poorly as Patrick Mahomes played in that game, he still gave his Chiefs teammates a chance to at the very least come back and send that game into overtime. So Patrick Mahomes is the answer for me all day, every day.
Allen versus Mahomes in a big game. Who you got?
I'm going with Patty. I'm going with Patty Mahomes. It kind of remind me of the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning back in the day. Peyton always had the regular season on lock, the stats going crazy, as many touchdowns. But when he came to the playoffs, he couldn't get over that hump. And you would want to go with that winning guy, which is Tom Brady, and that's what I'm going with, the winning guy right now, Patrick Mahomes. Hands down.
Bunch of excellent points by all you guys, man. So Mahomes is 3-1 over Allen right now, and we can go ahead and make it 4-1. My answer is Mahomes as well. I absolutely love what Dwight said, and I agree. I would rather have Josh Allen for a big regular season game. But with all the chips on the table, I'm rocking with with Patrick Mahomes. So ultimately, my answer is Patrick Mahomes. But guys, Josh Allen owns Mahomes in the regular season. Okay, it's like 5-1 or 4-1 head up, right? Get to the playoffs. Mahomes beats Josh Allen every single time. Okay, so it's a weird dichotomy where Allen seems to always get Mahomes in the regular season, and then Mahomes always seems to get Allen in the postseason when it really, really matters. It's a weird deal. It's probably not going to go that way statically for the rest of their careers. There's probably, I think Josh Allen's going to get one, but then you think, plays for the Bills. They've never won it. You know, so they've never won it. You know what I mean? The Vikings have never won it. And that's why I'm divorced from the Vikings, like 49 years of torture. And I said, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. So I'm divorced. I am thrice divorced, guys. 2 ex-wives and the Minnesota Vikings. But yeah, I would go Patrick Mahomes. All right, let's talk on Beyond the Surface, X-Rated Sports Network. We have the great Dr. Phil McDonald, a.k.a. Dr. X. A.M. Pfeffer, Dwight Walton, B-Dot is joining us as well. The Dodgers dynasty. I know we've all been waiting a couple of days to talk about this. The game happened on Sunday. Game 7 was on Saturday, and then the parade was yesterday, and Kike Hernandez became a legend. There's always some guy that drinks a little bit too much and says really outlandish stuff, and the city goes crazy. Kike Hernandez was that guy. Was this the best Game 7 in World Series history? I think it's second. Okay, I went to MLB.com, where else? The baseball nerds know all that stuff, and I say that affectionately. 1960, guys, the Pirates beat the Yankees on Bill Mazeroski's walk-off homer. It was a 10-9 game. It's the only Game 7 walk-off. I'll give that the best Game 7. 10-9, okay, and a walk-off. All right, I'll give you that one. And then 2, I think, is Dodgers over Blue Jays in the 11th inning. Phenomenal game. Shout out to Yamamoto. Pitches well in Game 6, pitches almost 3 innings in Game 7. Bumgarner did that back in the day. Shout out to Will Smith, who just always has the biggest hits for the LA Dodgers. He just does. I know Freddie hits huge. Just Will Smith is so freaking solid, man. Like Yogi Berra, like the best catchers of all time. He's rising into that group right now with all the rings and all the accomplishments. So let's get into the debate question here. And Dwight Walton, I want you to go first. Your favorite moment of Game 7, and then I'm also going to later ask your favorite moment of the entire World Series. But this is just Game 7. Favorite moment of Game 7.
Listen, I have to give a shout out. Now, if I'm reading the reports correctly, Miguel Rojas basically was going to retire after this season. I don't know if he still is, but based on basically being put in the doghouse by manager Dave Roberts, took him out of the lineup, and then had a hunch that Miguel was going to do something in Game 7. Not only does he come up with a huge home run late in the top of the 9th inning, he comes up with a huge defensive play where he almost stumbled, making sure to gather himself and to throw a BB gun to Will Smith, and if not for the replay, there could have been questions as to whether Will Smith got his foot on the plate as the runner was crossing home plate. So for me, the best moment, there was several. Miguel Rojas, the home run, the defensive play. And then speaking about Kike Hernandez, he's looking over his left shoulder for a hit that the Blue Jays thought they were going to win the game on, and out of nowhere, another great move by Dave Roberts inserting Paez into center field. Paez understood that his teammate Hernandez didn't look like he was going to catch that ball in left field, and he basically bowls over his teammate and makes arguably one of the best, if not best defensive plays in World Series history. Game 7 had so many storylines, but those 2 things stick out. The Miguel Rojas situation, both with the home run and the defensive play, and the Paez play in center field. Those are the moments for me in Game 7 of this past World Series.
Dr. X, your favorite moment of Game 7?
I totally agree with Dwight. I think it's a tie for me, but I think the story behind Miguel Rojas is probably the best thing for me. The fact that he was about to retire, wasn't planning on playing, and then not only does he get the home run, but also the defensive play, and that was this, to have that presence of mind to like not be in your head about retiring. He could have mentally checked out. He could have been the pressure could have been too much. Because there were times where it just felt like the Dodgers weren't going to win. And so collectively as a group, for them to be that strong and everybody to have a moment was great. But to me, it was Miguel Rojas.
Hey, Pfeffer.
Let's talk about Will Smith for a second. Let's just go back, because I agree with you, Rick, in terms of bringing him up and his, where he stands in lore, not only but in the history of MLB at the catcher position. First of all, the guy played every single game. He played every single inning, including an 18-game inning behind the plate. Is he made of rubber or what, right? But his cleat, one, fraction of a cleat on home plate, saving that play. He was off the bag, and then he was on the bag. They could have looked at that play. That replay could have taken 12 to 35 minutes to go back and forth and to see if he actually had that runner out. But they kind of glossed over it quickly. They called him out. He moved on from it, and it really did show he actually had like this much of the cleat on the bag within, an eighth of a second before the runner crossed. That play stands out above all, and in a plethora of incredible plays in that game. It was unbelievable getting him out that way.
That's cool, man. I like that. B-Dot, do you have a favorite moment of Game 7?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I ain't even get a chance to see Game 7, boss. I'm not even Aaliyah. I'm sorry, y'all. Man, I'm gonna be completely honest. I ain't even see Game 7. The only part of Game 7 I seen was the last 3 hours of my dude Yoshimoto that he did. So that's probably my bad. Yamamoto. So that's probably my favorite. Him getting them 3 outs. Did Mookie Betts get a little double play to end the game?
Yep, he sure did.
Yes, he did.
Now that was my favorite moment, because Mookie Betts came from outfielder. I don't want to say he mastered shortstop, but he had the humbleness to ask my third baseman, what do I need to do in this situation? He let him know, and I got to go with Mookie Betts, man. He didn't have the best World Series, but he came through in Game 6, got that double play to end the World Series and win it. So that's my favorite play right then and there.
Great answer, man. I loved you going back to the huge hit that Mookie Betts had in Game 6, because Mookie Betts was in the garbage can. I mean, not overall. I love Mookie Betts, but like he has not played well in the postseason. And they were showing, I think during that at bat they flashed a graphic. He had left 24 men on base, like throughout the whole playoff run or something like that. Like it wasn't good, right? And then for him to have that hit, biggest hit of that game. I thought that was amazing. So my favorite moment was, and I actually want our technical director, Kai, our producer, Jason, to fire this up. This is, once again, let's relive it, the Miguel Rojas legendary home run.
Payoff. Drilled to left field and deep and gone! No way! Miguel Rojas! Dave Roberts played his gut.
All right, so absolutely phenomenal TV right there. Joe Davis with the no way. Okay, I didn't have audio. I gotta take you guys to where I was. I was playing a gig at El Agave Bar in St. Pete Beach. It's like a tequila bar, right? And I played with this DJ Roberta. I wasn't supposed to go. I was supposed to go to a concert that night. She hit me on the bat phone. All right, I guess I'm gigging tonight. Cool. Went over there, 8 to 12 set. It was phenomenal. Great crowd, super fun. And guys, I was in a great position to clock basically the entire Game 7. So I'm drumming and playing it all by ear. I don't know anything she's playing. And it's just the way we do it. And so the TV's on, I'm playing, trying to match her and watching the game, right? And so, and having fun with people. It was a great night. All right, so it's the 9th inning, right? And I see that somebody hit a home run for the Dodgers. So I just get up mid-song with my drum, put it under my arm, and just walk over. And I'm like, who hit it? They're like, Rojas. I'm like, no way. I literally said what Joe Davis said. Okay, and I didn't know Joe Davis said it at the time. I didn't even see that hit live. And I'm like, Miguel Rojas just hit a home run to tie the World Series. Are you kidding me right now? So it's the Miguel Rojas homer for me. Also love the defensive play that he made. Dave Roberts said after the game that Miguel Rojas's wife told him that she manifested that he would hit a home run in that game. Okay, like Miguel Rojas did not have a home run against a right-handed pitcher all year. Miguel Rojas is not a home run hitter at all. Okay, that was a miracle. No other way to put it. It was probably a divine-inspired miracle, okay? So good for him, good for his family. The reaction of Dave Roberts when he put his hands on his hat and was like, I can't believe that just happened. Dave Roberts was like, there's no way Miguel Rojas just hit a home run. There's no way. But he did. And so that was just a phenomenal night, a phenomenal game. All right, let's look more big picture here. And Pfeffer, you first. Your favorite moment of the World Series, Dodgers and Blue Jays.
So I want to say a couple things here, if I may, because I love what you said about the history of Game 7 World Series. I want to go back to that in just a moment, if I may, if you'll allow me just an extra couple moments to talk about my favorite Game 7 ever. But you know what my favorite overall moment of the World Series is? Actually a collection of moments. And it's a collection of how silent the Dodgers bats were, and they still won the whole damn thing. They look at their batting average. I think it was like 203 or 204 over 7 games, and somehow they pulled out the back-to-back championship win. That to me is incredible. I want to go back. I have to go back and look at stats in history to see how many teams over a 7-game series bat just slightly over 200 and actually won the whole damn thing. But I'm going to pull out from my favorite Game 7 of all time in 1960, by the way, even though I'm a Yankee fan, that is a great one. So I'm with you on that. But 2016, let me paint a little picture for you. Cubs at Cleveland, okay? The game ended 8-6, but let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning when Aroldis Chapman, who was at the height of his powers at that time, blows a 6-3 lead in that game, okay? And Cleveland comes back, ties at 6-all, 9 innings end on a 6-6 tie. And what happens next? A 17-minute rain delay of all things. Like the gods were smiling on the game and actually put a pause on it so everybody can catch their collected breath. It comes back to the 10th inning. Ben Zobrist, who ends up being the MVP of the series, delivers on an RBI double. The Cubs go up 8-6. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Cleveland almost ties it. They come back 8-7. They score a run with 2 outs left. And the Cubs ultimately get it done, ending 108 years of misery. Let's not forget about that. Okay, so to me, as great as this World Series was, as great as 1960 was, I will never forget what happened in 2016 when the Cubs won that World Series. That was just incredible.
I love it, man. So Dr. X, your favorite moment of this entire World Series, all 7 games. Pick one moment for us.
There's so many, Rick. I think most of them came in Game 7, but I think the whole pretty much it was an 8-game series when he went to another 9 innings to have the 18-inning game. But ultimately, I also like the other play. If I just have to give another one, where what's the guy's name? Dwight? Is it Paez?
Yes.
Who caught the
Yes.
yeah. I think the reaction of Hernandez. Like when he was on the ground praying, he was on the ground for like so long, just like hoping that that Paez caught the ball, right? And I don't even think he saw what happened because his face was on the ground, so I think he was just listening to what the reaction was, and then I think that one kind of caught me. I was like, wow, he was like, you could tell the gravity of the moment by Hernandez's response.
He got mossed by Paez out there, and let's say he got mossed by his own. But hey, look, go catch the ball. I mean, the whole thing is on the line right now. Okay, the whole World Series is on the line. Go catch the ball. Truck your teammate if you have to. Go get that baseball. Dwight Walton, favorite moment of the 2025 World Series?
It's got to be the 18-inning game. And you just spoke about how Miguel Rojas, and I think even Miguel himself said it in his post-game comments that he had never hit a home run or the whole season off a right-handed pitcher. Will Klein, his appearance for the Dodgers in that 18-inning game, he had never thrown more than 30 pitches. Then to go, I think it was either 3 or 4 innings, and to throw over 70 pitches in that performance spoke volumes to me. It's amazing how a professional athlete, their minds can shift when it's needed most. And you got to knock the champs out, man. The Dodgers, they were dead in the water, and you got to knock them out. And talk about a buzzkill, not only for Toronto, but for an entire country, to where we thought we were on the brink of a celebration. And it's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat for the Toronto Blue Jays. But that 18-inning game where Will Klein came through in the clutch, hadn't thrown more than 30 pitches, and to throw 70 pitches in a 4-inning stint, outstanding. And to A.M. Pfeffer's point, for Will Smith to catch all 18 innings and every inning in this series, much respect to those players and the Dodgers in the championship.
You're mute.
Pardon me, guys. I have a stat for you. Kind of piggybacks on what AM was saying about, the Dodgers. They batted 203 in the World Series and got outscored 34-26. Chew on that for a while. 203 and got outscored 34-26 and won the World Series. That doesn't make any sense. B-Dot, your favorite moment of the World Series, or did you already give it to us, or did you have another one you want to talk about?
You're on mute, B-Dot.
We can't hear B-Dot. Is he muted? B-Dot, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, no, it wasn't muted. I just had to, I don't know what's going on. But that 18th inning game, like you said, Will Smith catching for 18 innings straight. Them some good, them Meg Thee Stallion knees. The Meg needs some good knees now. 18 innings, bro. Like that is OD. You feel me? Like, and then for my man Freddie Freeman with the walk-off, am I correct? Didn't Freddie had a walk-off?
Yes.
Yeah, Freddie used to play with Atlanta with the Braves, my hometown. So that was probably my favorite moment of the whole World Series. That 18-inning game and Freddie Freeman with the walk-off. It kind of brought back memories of him, in that Braves jersey doing what he do. And I'm happy for him. Another stat that's crazy that I seen, that I think the Dodgers in the World Series, the pitchers they played was worth not almost, but over $1 billion. So for that stat that you put out, for them to only hit 203 and to get outscored, if you invested over $1 billion in that pitching staff, that they better come through and win that World Series, which they did. So that's a lot of money. That is a bill.
Hold on, but hold on. It wasn't the pitching staff. It was the 3 Asian pitchers. It wasn't the whole staff. It's the 3 Asian pitchers.
I'll try to throw some love in there with the other guys in there, man. God dang, Dwight, you don't always got to rain on my parade, man. But trying to get the Asians ain't taking over baseball, man. I was just trying to give my Americans some love, man. But overall, man, just shout out to the Dodgers in general, and that $1 billion, man. That's a lot of bread. So them
And they're also
three
from
Asians, they
Japan.
better have pitched well.
Japanese region. Japanese.
Yep. Good old Japan. They love Shonai over there in Japan now. Every subway, every place everywhere I walk, he's LeBron James times 50. There's no player, no athlete that has the most impact for a country, in my opinion, than Showani that he has in Japan.
Shohei Otani.
I gotta work on my pronunciations. It's getting there, y'all. Y'all know I got asthma. But and shout out to that man. He's probably, if he stays healthy, the greatest athlete of all time, greatest athlete in general of all time. To play
Wow.
both sides and have a big impact on both sides, a major impact, is different. I guess the closest you can do is Travis Hunter, but that's like Travis Hunter going out to get 3 interceptions and come back and throwing 4 touchdowns. If we want to do, a legit comparison. So, shout out to the Dodgers, man. I'm sorry, Dwight. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Rick,
I'm sorry, man.
Rick, we've been given a lot of love.
Drake lost the battle with Kendrick, and now y'all lost, and y'all just lost. Y'all still got a shine on. Y'all got
Gotta go
HGH,
there.
so you good.
Rick, I feel like we've been giving all this love to Ohtani, these past couple shows, but Yamamoto, man, I mean, come on with this guy, right? Like, he was the real MVP of the series at the end of the day. I mean, what didn't this guy do for the Dodgers? Like, rumor has it, like, I think he was back in the clubhouse. I think he fixed the HVAC system at one point. I think a vending machine was broken and he got in there with a wrench. Like, I heard he was driving the team bus at one point. Like, what didn't Yamamoto do for the team?
He was amazing, man. It was it brought back memories of Bumgarner, where Bumgarner would throw a game early in the series, win it, throw like maybe a game 5 or a game 7. Bumgarner's like, dude, manager Bochy, whatever you need from me, bro. You need 60 pitches for me tonight? Do I have it in me? No, but I'll give it to you anyway. And that's what Yamamoto did. I have another stat for you guys, and this goes to I can't remember who said it, but somebody was talking about Shohei, and people, he's big in Japan and stuff like that. He's huge in America, okay? And so I'm at this bar on Saturday night, right? Okay, I'm in right off the beach in St. Pete. All right, there's like, it's a Buccaneers town, it's a Lightning town, it's a Rays town, all that kind of stuff, right? And like, people, like, when Shohei would come up to bat, the whole bar, like, and then when he was not up to bat, like, they're moving around, maybe dancing and stuff like that. But and I'm talking about women too, okay? Like, everybody's, oh, Shohei's up. Stop. No. Shohei's up. Okay, so America's plugged into this. America now understands. I'm not saying every single person in this country, but what I saw in that bar on Saturday night, I was like, that's the Shohei thing. That ain't for Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Will Smith. That's for Shohei, dude. To captivate an entire bar in the deep recesses of the Tampa St. Pete area, okay, it's a pretty good indication. And then you have this. All right, Real Sports put out a stat. Game 7 of the World Series had 40.8 thousand more live viewers than Super Bowl, whatever the hell. I can't read the Roman numerals, but the last Super Bowl, okay? The World Series had more live viewers than the Super Bowl because of Shohei Otani, period. Not because of any other player. And you say it was a Game 7. Yeah, like, you're going to give viewers in a Game 7. Not more than the Super Bowl. Like, let's put it this way. If Judge and the Yankees were there, maybe it has the same kind of impact. The Yankees obviously there's people just everywhere wearing Yankees hats. They're America's team in baseball. Let's say the Brewers and Blue Jays, or the ratings would have been completely different, right? Anyway, I think it made my point. Go ahead.
This is what I wanted to say. I think it's the Tiger Woods effect, and having Shohei Otani, the most expensive baseball player in baseball history, to be starting a Game 7, and to actually also, you anticipated him not only pitching great, which he didn't, but you thought he was going to do something spectacular at the plate as well. And that alone is what brought the viewers to Game 7. And you talk about players all the time where we say he or she is not worth the money. Shohei Otani is absolutely worth every penny the LA Dodgers are paying him. And trust me, Major League Baseball is very, very appreciative to have Shohei Otani, who has brought the casual viewer back to the game of baseball. There's a reason why those numbers were so staggering in terms of having more viewers than the Super Bowl. Shohei Otani has that Tiger Woods effect, to where he was this Game 7 starter, and you were hoping and praying that some magic would happen with him at the plate.
Shout out to Dave Roberts, who now has 3 of these things, and I just think he's a brilliant manager. Shout out to Clayton Kershaw, who in the moment after Game 7 on the field, his family comes rushing out, right? All the little kids and wives and grandparents and like the whole Kershaw family, and he's crying, and it touches me to this point. And one more shout out. It was a lady in Toronto, and she had one of the greatest signs I've ever seen. It was a white cardboard sign, and it said, "Who's your Vladdy?" Okay, I lost it when I saw that. That is so funny to me. I think the whole "Who's your daddy" thing is just funny. It's just maybe it's corny and cheesy. I just think it's funny. It's like kind of dumb, kind of silly. But who's your Vladdy? And Vlad Guerrero was a rock star in this World Series and in the playoff run and at the regular season. And it's an example. Pay your guy, okay? Atlanta, pay your guy, Trae Young. They paid Vladdy Guerrero. Boom, he takes you to you won it, but you didn't win it, okay? And they're knocking on the door. They have a really good team set up here. I go back to Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2021, okay? Milwaukee paid him. Boom, they win a championship. Remember, there was all the questions. Is Giannis going to want to stay? And boom, he signed the contract, took all doubt and all the drama out of it. They immediately go win a championship. So that is good management. That is good GMing. All right, Dr. X, let's get into some of these injuries, man. So what we're going to do here, guys, I'm going to set it up. Doc's going to talk about the injury, and then one of us is going to go. To keep the segment moving here a little bit. If somebody has something else to say, jump in and get it in, okay? But that's kind of the intended layout here. Doc, Jayden Daniels, it bums me out to even go down this road, man. Such a gruesome injury. Dislocates his left elbow. The X-ray showed that there was no fracture, Doc. You can tell us how important that is. Dan Quinn said, I just missed it. That's 100% on me. That he thought, they were down, oh gosh, what was it, 31-7 or something like that? Like they were getting just blown out. And Dan Quinn is and I love Dan Quinn. I know Dan Quinn, not personally, but I interviewed him a bunch in Atlanta. Great guy. I freaking love Dan Quinn. Okay, so I feel bad for him that he's all busted up about this. And players don't want to leave the game, guys. They don't, right? Derrick Rose didn't want to leave that game when he popped the ACL when Tibbs left him in, and everybody crushed it. People crush Tibbs to this day about that, okay? You ruined Derrick Rose, blah, 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 blah. All right, so Dr. X, should we be worried about Jayden Daniels long-term?
I would say, honestly, let's be glad that there was no fracture associated with this injury. There are 2 injuries that this brought back memories immediately, and they were both in basketball. Do you guys remember when Rondo had the dislocation of his elbow, and then he wrapped it up and was still running around? It was just flopping around as he was playing. I forgot which game it was. I believe it was a playoff game.
Did he get tangled up with Wade? Wasn't Wade involved in that play?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he thugged it out, wrapped it up, and I think he missed the next game after that, possibly. But the difference is it's complicated if you have a fracture. So you guys remember Andrew Bogut? Remember he got low bridged and then he broke his elbow and dislocated it. It was one of the worst injuries that I've ever seen.
Gross.
Real time.
Amari.
Yeah.
Amari undercut him.
Yeah, Amari. Yep. I think it was Amari. Yeah. I didn't want to say the wrong name, but yep, it was Amari. That's what I thought it was. But yeah, so the difference here is long term, though, he'll be fine. The problem with the injury when you don't, I think it's his non-throwing hand. Am I correct?
That is correct.
That? Yeah. Yeah. So if it's just ligamentous damage, he has the LUCL, also the UCL, which is the Tommy John ligament. And so with all of those injuries, potentially he'll recover. And it's not something to be worried about, especially with his non-throwing hand. So, I mean, what's their record? That's the other question. So will he make it back on time to make?
3-6.
Yeah.
3-6.
We might not see him again until next year because they probably just want to gear up and make sure he doesn't have another injury. So, but if their record was better and they had a chance to make it to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, you'd likely see him again, maybe in January sometime.
Wow. Okay, that's phenomenal to hear. I did not expect to hear. I thought he's done for the year. There's no way he can come back and play. The fact that Dr. Phil McDonald, and again, this is just theoretical, right? Because Washington's going to, Marcus Mariota's terrible. He's freaking terrible, okay? He's not even a good backup quarterback. My boy Stetson Bennett is the third string QB out with the Rams right now behind Matt Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo. Stetson Bennett's way better than Marcus Mariota at this point. Dwight, do you have a comment here on the Jayden Daniels injury?
I feel bad for Dan Quinn. I do understand that the game was out of reach. It was 38-7. In hindsight, of course, Jayden Daniels shouldn't have been in the game. And on top of that, he was calling it an RPO to where he had the option of either handing it off to the running back or running himself. And Jayden Daniels, he is slight of frame. He did have some concerns coming out of LSU into the NFL if he could use the same running style that he did while he was extremely successful at LSU. You're coming into an NFL situation to where these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and you're going to be even more susceptible to injuries. So there's a lot of, you can blame a lot of places here. At the end of the day, I'm sure Jayden Daniels didn't want to come out of the game. I commend Coach Dan Quinn for coming out and saying that in retrospect, he should have had Jayden Daniels out of the game, and that was his mistake. It's on him. He's doing right by his superstar franchise player. He's doing right by the franchise, and he's showing leadership, talking about Coach Quinn, by putting the onus and the blame on himself for having Daniels in the game. But knowing Jayden wanted to be in there and wanted to play till the end. But unfortunately, he had this gruesome injury, and I think it's best for the Commanders organization to police Daniels himself and to keep him out until next season.
They should have traded for Stetson Bennett today. Anyway, we move on here. Dr. X, this is his segment right here. And we're going through all these injuries, man. And I cannot wait, Doc, to get your take on a really kind of unusual Josh Hart hand injury. This is what the New York Times is reporting. Josh Hart's discomfort extends beyond just his finger. He has played this season with a splint on his right ring finger, and he has a nerve injury in his hand. And the affliction affects the fourth finger on the shooting hand the most, but feeling is also going in and out of his middle and pinky fingers, not just on the court, but also in day-to-day life tasks. The New York Times continues. Hart said the operation would keep him out for 3 months. So instead of getting surgery now, he has opted to play through it, Dr. X. Doctors told him that he could delay the procedure until after the season without incurring very much long-term risk. Quote, it'll probably be a process until I get full feeling back, Hart said. The hand will be what it is. I'm working on shooting all the time. That'll come along. I'm not getting surgery. So, Dr. X, your thoughts on Josh Hart here. What's up with that hand, man?
Well, he already had a surgery in the off season, and unfortunately, he has to get another revision on that surgery. But I think they're making the right choice for him to be able to play. His stats have been trending upward. Nothing can change his motor and, his heart, unintended. But, he's getting like 10 rebounds a game in very limited minutes for him. 26 minutes, he has 10 rebounds in the last 2 games. His shooting stroke got a lot better. He was 50%, I believe, yesterday, 2 of 4, and he's not hesitating to shoot. But the main issue with this hand injury is that if you saw it, he definitely has swelling. I think there were a couple pictures, almost look like Steph Curry's thumb, but on his ring finger. And there's not much space there. There's a lot of nerves, branches off the ulnar nerve, which is the pinky finger side, and then it goes and supplies half of the fourth. And then the median nerve, when everybody says they have carpal tunnel, the tunnel's right here. But 1, 2, 3, and then half of the fourth supplies the median nerve. So he's saying his middle finger is also affected, which is the median nerve, and then his pinky finger and his half of his ring finger. So both median and ulnar nerves are affected. I believe it has a lot to do with the swelling, and that's just going to be something he's going to deal with for the rest of the year. So with Josh Hart, I think he's going to play through the injury, and it's encouraging that it's not really affecting his game and his confidence. The confidence part is the biggest part because mentally, when you have an injury, it can kind of take you out. So to see that, and the Knicks really need that boost off the bench right now. With Jordan Clarkson stepping up the last 2 games and with Josh Hart, that alone has put them above 20 points a game. And then, if you have Miles McBride has a good game here or there, I think the Knicks bench is looking a little bit better than we saw in the last 3 games in their 3-game losing streak.
Thank you, cuz. Thank you very much for acknowledging that. Thank you.
I got you, cuz.
They are cousins, by the way. Many of you who've been watching this show for the last couple of years know that, but in case we have new audience members, Dwight and Doc are cousins. We have Brandon Armstrong. We have Pfeffer. I'm Rick Kamla. We are Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. B-Dot, are you impressed by Josh Hart taking the bench role, playing through this injury? This is some Warrior stuff, man.
No, I'm very impressed. He had a great game, almost dang near a triple-double. Jordan Clarkson had 15, so I'm glad he's getting this. He's finally getting his feet wet in terms of getting some type of success. This season during the game, and that bench is going to be really pivotal for that New York Knicks squad, just because on a night in, night out basis, Jalen Brunson's not going to be able to do it by himself. Karl-Anthony Towns is not going to give you 30 and 10 every night. So. And I like how Mike Brown is using his bench. He's going to go 8, 9 deep, so these guys can get rest. So they have to perform. This is going to have to be here. You're going to have at least average 12 off that bench. You're going to have to give us at least 3 threes a game, with some other stuff. We want more than just threes. And I know I say we because Jalen Brunson is on my fantasy team, so I'm a Knicks fan this year, So he going to have to give us a little bit more off that, off that bench. And I think they had really good guards, that's coming off that bench. So I'm praying and hoping, that they get it together, and more games like this for Josh Hart is shown more throughout the year. So I'm very impressed. Josh Hart is a personal friend. He does not want to miss a game. Kind of have that Mikal Bridges type of fight and grit that he's going to play hard. He's going to go after every single loose ball, put his body on the line. And, yeah, man, shout out to Josh, man. You better than me, brother.
I love it, man. All right,
There
so
he
Doc.
is, 3D.
D3,
what up,
What is that, ultra perm? The ultra perm you put in
I'm getting an ultra perm. Yeah. That ain't nothing but
What's happening, 3D?
Boy, what in the world? Wait till I tell your auntie that their nephew out there running around with people giving him an ultra perm on the live show. Boy, what's wrong with you, boy?
Power move, 3D. It's a full power move.
ATL traffic. I want to make sure I caught the end of the show. And as soon as I cut it on, I'm like, what is that? Is that leave? What is that? Is that gel? What the hell is that? What are the products? My God, what are you selling? Come on, nephew.
It's foam. It's just foam. You see my forehead, right? I got about 8 more years till I'm joining your club.
Hey, at least call it Beijing or something.
10 more years, I'm joining you and Phil. All right, give me time. Let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy this.
Absolutely hilarious, man. We have the winner, the $1 million gooseneck, the logo man, the goat of range, Dennis Scott. Don't call him D3, just call him 3D, one of the best nicknames in basketball.
Yes, if you get that messed up, I'm going to come see you, so please get that right. I know I'm late to the show, so I'm going to jump and dive right in. Rick, you got it right.
Good.
Them Dodgers was just unbelievable. And for you Laker fans, hey, I bow down. When Luka's playing, good Lord gracious, him and Austin have figured it out. And then I guess the bigger question, I'm getting a little late. LeBron fans, what are y'all going to do? What are y'all going to do? I don't know. Hey, no. Hey, come on now. Like, I really don't know what to tell you. Because when LeBron comes back, you can't tell Austin to take a seat. Luka's Luka. I'm not even going to fight that. How do you figure it out? Oh, wait a minute. I admit when I'm wrong. Even Ayton had a good couple games recently. I was wrong. Rick, you know me. When I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. Even Ayton's played well recently. Mm-hmm. But when LeBron comes back, JJ, my fellow shooter, what are you going to do? Because there's some good vibes going on right now with Austin Reeves. There's good vibes with Luka. I mean, come on, man. You know me. I call it what it is. There's good. If you're a Laker fan, They're good vibes. But JJ now has to figure this out, Dwight. I know you love your Lakers. Let me say this, Dwight, before you chime in. These are good problems to have.
Thank you. Okay. What you just said to end that? That's better. Okay. No problem. Hey, listen, man.
But Dwight, it's still a hard problem, though. It's
No,
but it's still hard.
Well, no, but hold on, 3D. I agree with you, and I've asked the question: do the Lakers conform to LeBron, or does LeBron have to conform to the Lakers? You don't want to be that guy that rocks the apple cart. And the reality is, they are 6-2 without him. They beat Portland, albeit they are the Portland Trailblazers. They beat them last night. It was a complete team effort. And to your point, 3D, the atmosphere, you can see it on the television. Yeah. The atmosphere, the chemistry, it's building, right? And now LeBron he knows people are talking out there, all right? He doesn't want to come in there and mess this thing up, right? So imagine he does come back, because the player rotation is definitely going to be knocked down a peg each for each player. But some of those role players who are getting valuable minutes right now, including his son Bronny, something's going to happen there, and it's going to mess it up, and it's going to take time. Then the questions are going to come out. What if LeBron comes back and the Lakers go on some 2 or 3 game winning streak? I agree with you, 3D. Something has to happen there. And although, listen, LeBron, arguably greatest player of all time. But the reality is, it looks like the Lakers are simply moving on right now, and they're being very successful without the great LeBron James.
And add to that, Greg.
Just
real
quickly,
quick,
to
I
me,
want to
it's
add to
not.
that one time.
Go ahead, DZ.
I want to top both of that. So now for basketball people, listen to what I'm getting ready to give you something to think about, to what Dwight just said. When LeBron comes back, who is willing to go stand and wait? I'm going to say it again. Doc, that's why you put me on the show. Because when we're talking basketball, we're breaking. This ain't about fandom. This ain't about triple doubles. Yeah. LeBron wants the ball in his hands. Luka wants the ball in his hands. And Austin Reeves said, yes, I can boogie too with the ball in my hands. 2 guys have to go stand and watch or set a few screens because the ball's no longer in your hands. That's the key that JJ has to figure out.
It went decently last year. Austin Reeves got his numbers after the Luka trade. Obviously, they were a 50-win team. Dennis, I totally understand the concerns here and the stuff that JJ Redick has to vet. I mean, this is dropping a whale into the swimming pool. This isn't welcoming Gabe Vincent back. This is LeBron James. Okay,
great call. Great call.
Right, so it's completely different. It may throw some guys off when he first comes back. But to Dwight's point, LeBron's got to conform with the Lakers. The Lakers have already moved on. They've already told him that they view this as his last season. And Rob Pelinka is saying other stuff, but the fact that they weren't able, that they didn't extend him and all that kind of stuff, the Lakers are ready to move on from LeBron James, I believe. And so this is the point I want to make about LeBron. I was talking with Jason Arambulo, our great producer, yesterday about this. We have another report from Shams Charania. LeBron James' commitment to the Lakers is, quote, very much up in the air. What the heck does that mean? Why would his commitment be very much up in the air? Well, because the team has moved on from him. It's no longer his team. No, guys, he used to basically have full personnel control over the LA Lakers, okay? Then that went away, but he was still the main guy. And now he's not even the main guy anymore. Okay, these are ego hits to a billionaire, super megastar, the biggest star in the NBA, one of the biggest sports stars in the history of the world, feels dissed. Okay, and guys, let me take you to the wood here. I forget who I know they played Portland last night. Dennis, to your point, Ayton was a rock star last night. Holy cow. Nick Smith Jr. had like 20 points. Well, what is going on here? He didn't even play in the previous two games. And that was a really good win for the Lakers, by the way. And there was a love fest. You know who's not involved in the love fest? LeBron James. Let's go to the previous night. Again, I forget who they played. There's too many damn games going through my head. All right. Bronny dimes some dude in the corner for a corner three, timeout, other team, whoever they were playing. All right, so I'm watching my boys, Billy Mack and Stu Lance on the Laker broadcast, and they flash over to the bench. Bronny just made a kick-ass play, okay? And I'm not expecting LeBron to come out and, like, hug him. Oh, my God, I'm so proud of my son. No, that's not what I'm saying here. But he came out with the flat face, stoic, no emotion at all, just with, like, some like mid-fives to guys as they went by. Like, no energy, no enthusiasm at all. Later in the game, Austin Reeves and Luka combined on some kind of play. Again, they flash over to LeBron James. Had the most sour look on his face, okay? No body language at all. It's everybody else is having a love fest except LeBron, okay? And they're winning, by the way, okay? That night, they were moving on to 5-2. Last night, they moved to 6-2. Guess who did not make the trip to Portland? LeBron James. I don't like that, okay? Why didn't you make the trip? Like, LeBron is like half coach, half referee. He's always lobbying the refs, right? Come on, you missed that goal, right? Like, be up there with your team. And so he can't travel because of sciatica? I'm not buying that. You could definitely hop on a plane and go up there. Dr. X, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but we talked about John Morant. He has checked out on the Memphis Grizzlies. That's like official. We know that, right? I'm like 90% there with LeBron, that he has checked out. There's still a little bit of doubt in my mind, but not very much, because I'm watching these games. It is a love fest with the Lakers right now, except one guy, LeBron James.
You said something, Rick, and you just pinched a nerve, and you guys are going to get it first here on this platform beyond the surface, because I'm beyond my nerves right now. And last week we talked about something, and I went with Zion because I thought it was a bigger story, because I'm still a huge fan of Zion, but I should have went with Ja Morant, who I thought would probably get traded or needs a new scenery. The new head coach, and he didn't hit eye to eye last year. I seen it with my own eyes. And where I'm about to go is this. Daddy T, I've already had this conversation with you before. I go through it myself as a dad who has a son in college right now. You gotta handle the business of basketball differently. You guys were on your way to $500 million between contract money, Nike money, and other monies that people wanted to do business with you because your son is electric, period. But how you're handling your business in social media or not handling your business properly, you're killing yourself. I know you're a daddy's girl like I am. You have a beautiful daughter. Think about your future earnings. It's all I want to go. And I'm glad you pressed that nerve, Rick and Doc and Dwight and AM. It's just that it hurts me. It hurts me as an ex-player and now who's in the business on the media side. And I know we don't always get what we want. But I know for a fact there's a proper way to handle your business so you can still be looked at in the right light. Very similar how we're critiquing LeBron right now. You can like it, you can hate it, but he's handling his business. I had to get it off my chest because that's how much I love Ja. I love T. I know T personally. I'm probably going to call him when I get off this show again and tell him the same damn thing. Handle your business differently. We understand you're not getting your way. We understand it's a new coach. We get it. Look at all sports. Everybody goes through adversity. But the best ability is availability. We know you've been through a lot of injuries these last couple years. Doc, you're the resident doctor. You can explain the injuries he's been through, what he could have caused, what he could have, avoided, all those type things. But right now, today, Rick Kamla, I'm upset because Morant is not handling his business properly to stay relevant in our game.
Is LeBron James handling his business appropriately now?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, DZ. Did you
Did I lose you? Did I lose you?
Yeah, something weird happened
here.
here. Do you feel like LeBron is handling his business the right way right now?
Yeah.
Yes. We don't like it. But he's not, when LeBron's being asked the question, he's not saying, go ask Rod why they have my extension. Go ask the trainer why I'm not playing.
So hold on. So
That's
Rick,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let me throw a question out to you guys. So Rick, are you implying that LeBron is faking his injury and he's sitting out on purpose? Like, is he on strike? Like, I think he's hurt. So how else?
Come on, please, Dwight.
I'm confused.
Dwight,
I'll answer.
Dwight, what Rick is saying is, LeBron, you're built like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
If there was a playoff game tomorrow, you would
play.
play.
Yes.
You're not saying it. Hold on, let me finish, Dwight. You're not saying it right now because you said it in the past before. So guys don't say that anymore. So what LeBron is saying is, I'm not 100%, and I'm not coming back till I feel like I'm 100%. That's basically what LeBron's saying.
So, Dwight, to your question, I'm confused. There's a greater percentage of my opinion that thinks that LeBron James could definitely play right now, and he's kind of just taken his ball and gone home because he's pissed for whatever reason. The stuff that we talked about here, right? And then there's a part of me that's like, yeah, he's got sciatica, it's a legitimate injury, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's all these reports from Shams. It's drama. The whole thing. LeBron and the Lakers are literally unzippering like a jacket. It's just the zipper is coming down steadily day by day here. I see a divorce on the horizon, and it has been reported that LeBron James could play a playoff game if he wants to right now. The games are being played, man, okay? Like, you're in the West. There's no, like, I'll just, like, sit out. They need you right now, dude. They're going to need you in every game that they can get. So I feel like there's more of the ego hit, more of the drama, more of the, I'm just upset with the way the Lakers are rocking, and I don't want to play for them right now. I think it's more that, but Dwight, ultimately, I'm confused. I don't know that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hey, I get you.
So,
and I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. If my question and further, I apologize.
No. You're perfect.
You've heard me say that when it comes to LeBron James and injuries, they're non-negotiable. People think that he is constantly faking injuries. The reality is now, because I think we've gotten so used to him and the drama that surrounds him that whatever he does, something's fishy. I think, listen, first of all, he still enjoys the process. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing right now, right? He was a second-team All-NBA player just 6 months ago. So this notion that he's possibly faking or negotiating, if you will, or he's pouting, not happy, trying to sort of weasel his way out of LA. As I mentioned to you off air, LeBron controls this whole situation, Rick. He has a no-trade clause. And unless he agrees to the destination, he is not going anywhere. And as all of us have been, we've lived in LA, we've been to LA. Nobody's trying to leave LA. He wants to stay there. His family is ingrained there. All of his businesses are there. All he got to do is drive from one of his 3 mansions to whatever production studio he owns in LA, do all of his commercials, do whatever he needs to do. So this notion that he's trying to angle himself out of LA, I'll respectfully disagree.
What if we looked at it
wanna-
like this for a second, if I may? You know those YouTube videos where you see a trailer gets recut, right? Like a movie trailer gets recut. It's actually a romantic comedy, but if you put ominous music on it, it's suddenly a horror the other way around. Anybody ever seen those? Okay. Here we are talking a lot about LeBron's state of mind. What if there's the other side of the equation here for a second, where LeBron's actually quite happy? He's proud of his 6-2 team. He's actually taken a back seat from all of this for a brief moment so others can shine, so Austin Reeves, who he likes, can take the front stage, so his son can get some playing time, so JJ Redick can flourish as a coach. And speaking of, he has this great relationship with JJ that goes back to their time on the podcast prior to JJ getting hired. He said wonderful things about JJ Redick at the end of last season and his rookie campaign. He's given no indication that there's any animosity between he and JJ, and he actually enjoys playing for him. So maybe he is just saying, what's my rush back for a second? Things are going well. Do I need to be the rah-rah guy who jumps up and hugs everybody and coaches from the sideline? Or can I give everybody else a little bit more of the spotlight? And maybe I will buy in and defer to Luka when I come back and defer to Austin Reeves. Again, maybe you're all right. Maybe everybody on this show is correct and there's a problem and the divorce is coming. But are we looking at it? Are we looking at this movie trailer the right way? Or are we just putting the music on that we want to be putting on it right now?
AM. I like that. I like that you zigged while everyone was zagging, because I'm saying that jokingly and saying it, but sincerely in thought, because Dwight, you want to hear that. Laker fans want to hear that perspective. Because if LeBron comes back with that perspective, oh my goodness. Because why, to AM's point, LeBron, less is more right now. For you to come back and fit in and go with the flow and you continue to win, for the people who are hating on you, they have no choice but to flip the script, to AM's point. You have no choice, because you're winning, you're playing well, Austin is still thriving, Luka's still getting his triple-double, Ayton's still playing well, and LeBron's being LeBron. So, AM, I like your take on that. The question is he thinking that? Love your take, AM. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. X, climb in here, man.
Man, I disagree with what Dwight's saying. I love what you said, Rick, which is like, where there's smoke, there's fire. And can you read to me again Sham's his quote on what, the rumors and things like that?
Yeah, let me go back down here really quickly. Sham Sharani, LeBron James' commitment to the Lakers is, quote, very much up in the air.
Okay, so here we have LeBron James. How did that leak out? Who's talking? Why is that? Is it off of facial expressions only? You know what I mean?
No,
it
great,
can't be that.
Great point. Great point. Well, Shams knows Rich Paul. Hello, right? Probably got it from Rich Paul.
Yeah. So Dwight, I just have to hold you accountable in this. Like, I know deep down, it's BS. It's a rubber stamped injury. If we saw, like, LeBron has had injuries before that I know were real, because in real time you see the mechanism of injury. He's running and he grabs his calf, or he twists his ankle or something like that, and it's a real injury. He was fine during training camp, and all of a sudden it's a rubber stamp sciatica. Come on, like there's no proof of that. So the fact with the rumors on top of that, come on, Dwight. Deep down he's positioned himself.
He hasn't practiced, Phil. He didn't practice.
Please. So if John Morant said he had sciatica and I'm not playing, what would you say?
I believe
John
him.
Morant to say, oh, come on, Dwight. If John Morant
but
said he had
John Morant's
sciatica,
20. How old is John Morant? 26, 27-year-olds. LeBron
you can
James
still
is
get sciatica.
1 years old.
You can still get sciatica.
No,
Okay, so
no question about it. But there's something to be said about a 26-year-old going out with a sciatica issue, compared to a 41-year-old, right? I mean, that is a huge difference.
Phil.
Anything tweaks a little bit.
So hold on,
There's a big difference.
Phil. Let me get this correct, Phil. Cousin, love of my life. You think he's faking? You think LeBron James is faking?
I think it's a mixture of both. The fact that he could still play if it were an important game. These are important games. This is building chemistry. I can't hear you. You said what?
Oh, Phil, we all go through this. If it's a playoff game, look at what Michael Porter Jr. played with. He played with one shoulder last year. Aaron Gordon played with a torn hamstring. It's the playoffs. You're going to want to be there for your team.
I just don't like that you're
Right?
not acknowledging the other side of it. You're not acknowledging the other side of it.
No, you're
You're
dude,
giving no credence to the other side.
I'm acknowledging it. All I'm saying is I don't want to hammer the point home. When it comes to an injury to LeBron James, they're always non-negotiable. People think he's faking.
I got that point. But I'm asking you in a vacuum right now, given Sham's recent report that, where there's smoke, there's fire. What do you think about that? Do you think, based off of that report, he should be happy right now, right? As a pro Laker guy, he just won a ring with them back during the bubble. Why would they even be saying that about LeBron? That it's up in the air?
But again,
Because of sciatica? Because he's injured, or because he's disgruntled? So what is he disgruntled about? So if I had to ask you, what is he disgruntled about? What would you say? What would be your reason?
Who said he's disgruntled? Who said he's disgruntled?
Shams did. If they say it's up in the air.
No. He said his commitment is up in the air. Doesn't mean he's disgruntled. What are you talking about?
That's right. Dwight, you're right. That does not mean
if,
he's disgruntled. That does not mean he's disgruntled.
Okay.
Read the tea leaves on that. I'm
That's
with you,
actually
Dwight.
worse.
His commitment is up in the air. Well, I don't even know what that means. What is that?
That's
What
actually,
is that
if you-
report? My commitment
Your objection
is
has been
up in the air.
sustained.
Am I going to have pasta today, or am I going to have salad? I don't know. It's up in
That's
the air. My
bad. It's up in the
commitment.
air.
That
As
doesn't
LeBron
mean
James,
somebody. Yeah.
as LeBron James, if anybody else said that, if JB said that, if Jalen Brunson said my commitment is a big word. That's actually a lot worse, in my opinion, for LeBron James' commitment to be up in the air.
Again, this whole situation is controlled by LeBron James. He has a no trade clause. It's up to him. Nobody else. Him.
Wait, maybe
You're
we can move
ignoring
on to
that
a second
side of
because
it.
we're
That's what I'm
talking
saying.
about
Yeah.
we're talking about LeBron James, who has to be in control of everything. So maybe we can have a larger discussion. Let's say he does go off the Lakers. Where does he go at this point in his career in the NBA where he's in control of everything, right? He's going to have to buy into any team that's a contender. Okay, so the Mavericks. That's a good place. So I love that. Rick, that's a great point. Let's talk a little bit about that. And what, yeah.
No, that the new owner ain't having that.
Agreed.
No.
The new
Bro,
owner
I
ain't
mean,
getting
where
Cleveland.
can he really
Dallas
go
not
where
having it.
he can dictate for the next 2, 3, 4 years? Brooklyn,
Go back
Nets,
home.
the Wizards. I mean, who? Yeah, Cleveland. Why Cleveland? They're doing
No
well.
place
What do
like
they need him
home.
for?
Cleveland. All day Cleveland.
Is Cleveland having
LeBron,
trouble
Dwight.
filling seats?
Dwight,
Are they having trouble filling the arena?
AM, to your point.
Yep.
No, I personally believe, and Dwight, this is for you, and Rick, you know this. Where does LeBron's ego stand right now at the end of his career? I think that's the point. That's the bigger question for me.
It's wounded.
LeBron, you're not worth 52. You're not worth 52 million anymore. You're
Yeah,
not.
he is. Yeah,
So
he
what
is.
is that number? What is
He's
that number
worth that
that
kind of-
fits
he's a
your
20
ego that you can
DZ,
go
he
to a
was
team?
DZ, he was 24, 8, and 8 last year or whatever it was. He's still got the same numbers he always does. I think he's absolutely a max player right now.
No, Rick, you're right. Rick, remember my favorite segment we used to do? Reality versus fantasy.
Yes.
Fantasy, those numbers are there. But reality, they didn't have the same impact.
I understand. That's a good point. I still think he's a max player. I still think he's a max player, but I do acknowledge your point. It's a very good point. His impact is not what it once was. The stats are still fantastic, but his impact. Think about it, guys. He has been hiding defensively for years. For years. All right. I don't want to sound like I'm crushing LeBron James because I'm not, but he has been hiding defensively for years.
Yes. No. So what we're saying is the numbers are there. We're not saying LeBron still can't play, but LeBron impactful. You bring those numbers down. Is it 35 million? It's basically, what did James Harden do? James Harden said, I proved to everybody I still can play. I'm no longer worth the 48. I'm going to come down to 30, 32 and still be impactful and still be on a good team. What is that number for LeBron is my question.
That's a fair question. The Lakers finished West last year. They finished third in the West, and LeBron's a second-team All-NBA player, which means he's still a top 10 player in the world, 3D. So I get it. So some of the numbers can be inflated. And some of the numbers, when you're talking about impact, I get all of that as well. Okay? But let's not sit here and say he's not worth $52 million for one season. He is.
No, Dwight, the reason he isn't because he sucks up all your cap and you can't build your roster.
That's fair enough. Yes, I agree with that.
That is the whole point. It has nothing to do if I love LeBron or hate LeBron. I'm trying to build a roster to beat OKC. I'm trying to build a roster to win a championship. That's it. And if LeBron's still making $52 million, you're not going to win a championship, is my point.
I agree with that. I actually do. That's an outstanding point, DZ. Think about this. Kevin Durant took far below the max, okay, on his extension with the Houston Rockets. Kevin Durant's no longer a max player, guys. He is, but I don't want to tell anybody what to do with their money. However, it makes a lot of sense for LeBron James to take less than the max. I still think he's worth it. If I were an owner of a team, I would pay him the max, okay? However, it makes a ton of sense for him to play at $30 or $35 million a year. A ton of sense. That's going to add two stud. You get a 3-and-D guy with half of that money, like an Aaron Nesmith, and you can go out and get a sharpshooter with the other half of that money, right? And now you've got stuff that the Lakers need and don't currently have.
Agreed. And listen, I'm on record as saying next season he's going to have to play he's going to take a massive haircut, whatever roster he's on, because he's not just going to want to play out the string. He's going to want to be on a roster that has a chance to win a championship. And if that truly is the case, that minimum is probably where he's going to have to be slotted into, because he's going to a team, whether it's Cleveland, New York, whomever else. If he wants to fit in, his salary slot has to make sense for that roster to be built. That's the reality.
That's it.
Doc, are you maxing out LeBron James still? What do you think about this?
I don't think so. I do want his career to end in a nice way. I think it'd be nice for him to end up on a roster that fits him. But honestly, the Lakers fit him. I think once they figure out what that's going to look like, they have 3 shot creators and playmakers in LeBron, Luka, and AR. So I think that looks good. But it's just that, to 3D's point, the depth on the bench, although it looks a lot better than last year, and your big is doing a lot better with the addition of DeAndre Ayton. I was wondering why Nick Smith Jr. didn't play yet, because I know last year he was, pretty good for the Hornets when they were shorthanded. And so I'm glad to see that he has that confidence, and hopefully they play him a little bit more. But I think their bench is shaping up right. I think if they're probably a couple moves away from even, just solidifying their presence more in the West.
AM and B. Last points here on LeBron James, unless another This has been just a tremendous debate, by the way. But AM and then B dot. Are you guys still maxing out LeBron James right now? Where are you at with that piece of this debate?
No, you heard me say it last show. I definitely don't think it should be maxed out. I didn't think he needed to take the money he did this year, right? To me, he was a $35 million guy, and they could have had a number of other pieces and a mid-level guy and another shooter that was on that team that could have made a big difference. Certainly not from here on out does he need to be maxed out. And if that's the case, I don't know where he goes in this league where he's dictating what's going on, or, at some point he needed to be the highest paid player on his team. He said that before previously, and at the time when he did, it made sense because he hadn't been the highest paid player on his team prior to that, right? There were some times in Cleveland and even down in Miami where he wasn't. But when he went to the Lakers, that's what he wanted, and he got it for a period of time. Now, it doesn't make sense at all, and I don't think it would make sense on any other team wherever he goes. And Rick, to your point, not the same guy defensively. He's been hiding defensively for the past couple of years because he was all-world defensively for most of his career, and it makes a big difference. Even if you're a 28-8 or 24-8-8 guy, you got to do it on the other end of the floor if you're going to be a max guy, and you got to affect the game just so tremendously to be a max guy. He's just not there anymore. And that's okay, by the way. I do want to add that at the end of this.
Yeah.
At this point in his career and where he's at, it's okay.
B-Dot, come on in here.
Nah, I 100% agree. He even said it himself when they asked Brian, "What do you have anything else to prove? Like, what's your end goal?" He was like, "I don't have anything else to prove. Fine with my career right now, how it is." I'm not saying that he's not trying to go win a championship, but I mean, his replies are telling himself, or it's telling everyone, yeah, you're not worth the max anymore. He's a great player, second team, all NBA. But if you don't have anything else to prove, why are we giving you all this money? What do you need all this money for? If you're not trying to go get that fifth ring, or if you're not hungry for that fifth ring, not saying you are, but your responses are telling us that you're not. No, you're definitely not worth the max. And I don't know anywhere else that would fit him. I think he's fine with the Lakers. That's probably the only place that would fit him without somewhere having to blow it all up. And I don't think he's disgruntled. I don't think he's unhappy. He's 76 years old. That's you got to believe him when he's saying he's injured. He's been going against the injury grain his whole career. The guy's 146 years old. Let him sit down. Let him rest. Let this team right here mold. Let DeAndre Ayton find his identity. And I think Bron will be able to fit in like a missing puzzle piece. I think he will be fine taking that back seat. It's not gonna be all the way in the back now. All right, he's gonna be maybe right behind that driver. You feel me? He gonna be in that passenger seat. It's kind of like autopilot. You don't need to fly. You don't need to fly it yourself. But when that turbulence get turbulent, somebody gonna need it. He gonna need to grab on to it.
The turbulent get turbulent.
When it gets turbulent, when you're going through that crowd, you're gonna need somebody to hold it, right? To even it out. And I think he'll do that perfectly fine.
I love it. Hey, DZ, you come on in here. You get the last word on this, unless another debate erupts, and then we'll move on to our roundtable rant.
No, it's what I love about this as a former player is that we're talking about a guy in his 21st year and still relevant. That's what's so impressive about this conversation. And we're all curious, what is he really feeling deep down inside? Because outside of wanting to win more, why does he want to play? Because he's done everything. So I'll leave it at that.
I love it, man. We are Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. The great Dennis Scott. We have Dr. X, Dr. Phil McDonald, AM Pfeffer, upper left, Dwight Walton, lower left. B-Dot is lower middle here. And hi, I'm Rick Kamla. We got the Brady Bunch field going right here. I dig it. We got a full house, okay? So let's get some rants on, okay? This is the roundtable rant. AM, I'm looking at our notes here. It says that you've got a rant about one of the trades that went down in the NFL today. So kick us off, man.
First of all, could we get a close-up of that right there on the back of my phone? All right.
Jets.
40 years of pain. 40 years
Oh.
of pain, and now look, at first when this was going on, all of us Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks, and this is not like when we jettisoned Jamal Adams to Seattle and got back the 2 first-rounders. All of a sudden, you're all pro, right? 2 years in a row, including the rookie season, is now on another team. And this is even worse than when Darrelle Revis left and went down to Tampa Bay and we jettisoned him. But now Quinnen Williams in the last hour has also been traded. Where? Dwight and Dennis, did anybody see yet that they are on your Cowboys? The Cowboys who lost last night and then just fell even a further game back after the Panthers and Bears won and San Francisco won. I'm not really sure what they're holding on to. This was a team on the rise, and even I picked them a couple weeks ago to beat the Broncos in Denver. Didn't happen. I don't know what Jared's doing, but good luck with it out there. Thanks for the second-round pick and next year's first as well. But, man, as a Jets fan, it's sad. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it deep down here, every other part of my body. It's, these are cornerstone guys that are getting up the team. And now they're talking about Garrett Wilson being untouchable. Like, we're just going to build off of him. I'm curious to see who else is going to be gone by the end of the day because Breece Hall already said that he wants out too. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest, Rick.
I got to follow up with a couple of things here. Are you a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan?
Absolutely. Was a Seinfeld fan? Yeah, and Larry David, yes. I mean, I know where you're going with this, right? Like that one when
the Jets killed Carl. The Jets killed Carl. It's a whole bit on one of the great. It did
one of the best.
He's like,
one of the best.
The Jets killed Carl. His agent is like, what do you mean? He's like, all the misery, all the losses, it built up, and it ruined his heart, and his heart exploded, and the Jets killed Carl. Like, you guys have to, just like you could do Jets killed Carl YouTube video, and it'll just give you, like, that scene. It's absolutely hilarious. Do we have any other Curb Your Enthusiasm fans here on the panel?
Yes.
Big Larry David fan over here.
Bit.
Stop playing. Big Larry, Seinfeld, all that.
Yes, I love it. And then, AM, the other thing is, AM, I am thrice divorced, okay? We've already talked about this. I am divorced from the Minnesota Vikings, all right? I can remember back in the day as a kid, I was 15 years old, something like that. Yes, and I mean, I've got a full head of hair, but I mean, the Vikings really tempted that, all right? So Phil Simms is the QB of the Giants at the time, okay? I'm back in my room. I'm a teenager, right? All right, 4th and 17. If the Vikings get this stop, they win the game. Phil Simms throws, they get the first down, they go down and win the game. I literally punched my wall and it like caved it in a little bit. And it's over and over and over. Like that's the only mildly violent thing I've ever done. But 1998 losing to the Falcons. All of these soul-crushing defeats. AM. Divorce yourself from the Jets. They suck. They're always gonna suck. AM, there's a better pathway for your life. You can divorce your team. You can do this.
Rick, to your point, it's worse than that. I got 2 sons, and why do I even want to foist this pain on them? I got a nephew who just started college, and the back and forth text with him. But I'll tell you this, Rick, and you're not wrong about it, and I should get a little sunshine back in my life, and there's no reason to root for this team. But I got one older brother. He's 6 years older than I am. We are as tight as can be, and we talk constantly, we text constantly. But if we ever run out of conversation, there is one default, and I think a lot of people listening understand this kinship, right? And especially with a brother, a sister, or any other family member. It's always the default to the Jets if we ever run out of anything to talk about. I'll never leave the Jets. I will never leave that relationship, and I will never leave my brother high and dry forever. The Jets. I'll go through another 40 years of pain for him.
So, hey, I feel like Fred Sanford over here. Elizabeth, I was coming to see you.
Yeah, Fred Sanford.
Oh, Elizabeth, I was coming to see you. AM, I'm so happy you finished the way you did. Rick Kamla, I don't know how long I've known you. I've been the god uncle to your beautiful boys. I haven't met your daughter yet. But what I'm trying to tell you, to hear that you divorced your Vikings, oh my God, Rick, I don't know what to say.
It's true.
I don't care how bad Jerry is. We still them damn boys. That's my friend. I don't care if Jerry falls off a turnip truck. I don't care if Jerry starts drinking. I don't care if Jerry goes after a $5 billion gas company. I don't care if Jerry goes buys Tesla. I don't care if Jerry goes buys X. I don't give a damn. Because we still them stinking boys.
Dak Prescott,
sound effect,
one
Jason.
playoff win.
That's my ring.
Tony Romo, one playoff win. You all should be divorcing yourself from them Cowboys, too.
We still the boys, dog. Hey, I sound like Mike
definition of
Irvin.
it-
We
the
still-
definition
we
of
still the
insanity-
boys. We are still the
The definition
boys.
of
Mike Irvin
insanity
style,
is
we
doing the
still
same
them
thing
boys.
over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yes! Tell him, B-Dot. Tell him.
Hey,
Come on now.
Happy to be crazy.
Guess what? Hey,
Happy
I'd
to be
rather be
insane.
them boys with some rings and some of them franchises ain't got no rings.
Thank you.
Like the Vikings. That's why I'm divorced. It's a good point, Dennis. It's a very good point. You guys had a
Hello.
dynasty with the triplets.
Thank
Dynasty.
you. Thank you.
Dynasty.
And-
All right,
and-
the round
and-
table ring. Go ahead.
That's okay. I know Joe, Joe name is the only one, a long time ago, but guess what? Broadway Joe, still that dude. Broadway Joe, even when he's liquored up, he's still that dude.
He's a special.
Asking Susie Colbert for a kiss. What did he say? Can I kiss you? It was so brutal.
Oh, man, that was
brutal.
so gangster. That
I
was
mean,
so gangster.
Dude,
That
can
was
you
so
imagine, DZ, can you imagine the truck? Like, I mean, Susie Culver's out there like, oh, I cannot believe
yeah,
it.
like,
The
oh my
truck,
God, yeah.
like the directors and producers like, stop it. Like, they're like yelling at people like, get Joe David, get him off. Get him, just yank him out of there. Susie, take us to break. They were freaking out in the truck. Oh,
So real
mayhem
quick,
and
Dwight.
chaos.
Hey, Dwight, what was your take about last night on how bad we looked?
I've been saying it all season long, DZ. I just think you're putting too much pressure on Dak and the offense to outplay the trash defense that the Cowboys have. And it was going to catch up at one point. It caught up against the Broncos on the road, and it caught up to the Cowboys last night on Monday Night Football. There's only so much. That's why my rant is going to be stop blaming Dak Prescott. Prescott has nothing to do with this. I would hate to be Dak Prescott. I feel bad for Dak Prescott because everybody's texting me, oh, Dak doesn't have it tonight. Of course he doesn't have it tonight. He's been carrying the team the whole season. The defense gives up 50% the opposition scores 50% of the time offensively. They give up 52% on third downs. The Cardinals were 7 for 9 on third downs last night. The majority of those third downs were third and long, third and 10, third and 12, a couple of third and 17s. So my rant is leave Dak Prescott alone. There was a reason why he was in the MVP conversation up until 2 weeks ago, because he was carrying a putrid Cowboys defense. Yes, you can acquire as many players as you want to today before 4 p.m. for the trade deadline, but it's not going to help. They're already 11th in the NFC. It's going to take a miracle to win over the next 4 weeks. They've got the Chiefs, the Eagles, a whole bunch of playoff teams that they have to play over the next month. Good luck to them. Dak Prescott is doing the best that he can in spite of a garbage, trash Cowboys defense.
I mean, I'll just say, can we get an amen to that? That was
Amen.
perfect. That was absolutely perfect. Dr. X, do you have a rant here in the roundtable rant? You got something you want to get off your chest? I mean, the Knicks are on a little winning streak right here. So what's going on?
I don't really have a rant. I'm just happy that it's orange and blue skies right now. So I'm just keeping it moving. I'm enjoying walking to the Knicks games, enjoying seeing things close up and personal. And the only rant I had was earlier today against my cousin Dwight. He won't hold LeBron James accountable. Always a LeBron James apologist. Always.
Here we go again. All right, B-Dot, you got a rant?
Not really a rant. It's early in the basketball season. As no more than 8 games been played, no more than 9 games been played. We don't need to start panicking, guys. All right, we don't need to blow it up. We don't need to blow it up too soon. We've seen teams start. What the Miami Heat when Bron done played? What they started 9-10, 9-8, and you see what happened with them. Granted, these teams don't have a D Wade, they don't have a Chris Bosh, they don't have a LeBron James. It's a different day and age, but we don't need to blow it up. Okay, it's still early in the season. Let's give these guys at least 30 games to get right. Then we can see if we need to Osama bin Laden. Okay, we need to see if we need to go ahead and get rid, blow it up, and let's start talking trade. It ain't even been 10 games yet, guys. All right, so that's probably my only rant. Not saying you guys just the NBA analysts and all the NBA talk in general around the world on the internet and social media. It's still early. Okay, it's still early. But outside of that, Orlando Magic, y'all pissing me off, okay? I had high hopes for y'all. Anthony Black, I need you to come through, bro. It's been 3 seasons. I need to see some Jalen Suggs. You're injury prone, little bro. I understand. Tyus Jones, you over there averaging the same thing I'm averaging over here with these kids, okay? I need Paulo to take that next step. Franz, I don't mess with Germany. Franz, you good on my end. I don't mess with Germany, all right? Franz, you keep doing what you're doing, all right? But Orlando Magic, I was hoping to see more. I had said something about the Houston Rockets last show. They don't win off. They don't win off 4 in a row. So they doing what they doing, all right? Other than that, that's probably my rant for the day. That's my rant. That's my 3 caught cages of the month. My boy Luka, Austin Reeves, and LaRavia. Look, man, y'all are doing what y'all need to do. Okay, all them stereotypes about white men can't jump, they can't do this, man. Y'all doing that thing. Who 12? Y'all know who 12 is now. All right, like I said, trade LeBron, man. Get him up out of here, man.
Oh my God.
We got 3 clean cut, good looking guys showing LA that we can do it. All right, just bring Jerry West back, and we got a squad. Throw Jerry West in that starting lineup. Keep DeAndre Ayton in there, and let's glory roll this thing.
Yo, Doc, bring LeBron off the bench. I'm here for it.
It might be good.
He ain't here for that. I can tell you right now, LeBron ain't here for that. He come off the bench. You got me messed up. He ain't trying to do that. Yeah. If he ain't taking a haircut off the max when it's absolutely the appropriate time in his career to take a haircut off the max, he most certainly is not agreeing to a bench roll. All right, so B-Dot, you the man. Here's what I love about B-Dot, man. He's like, I don't really and then it was like 3 things. Like the stream of consciousness was amazing right there. Like, dude, bang on. That was incredible. That was incredible. Oh man. So I want to make a point here. I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing this guy. I just have I got a bone to pick with an NBA player. A player that I really, really like. And his partner, I don't know if they're married or not, Asia Wilson, they just got a dynasty, and I love the Bam and Asia thing. I just think it's super cool. Like, Bam's one of the best on his side. She is bar none the best on her side. And, they're together and all that kind of stuff. And the moment after she won, saying, thank you for believing in me, baby. Like, it's touching, man. It really is. And it's really, really cool. All right, so I'm a Bam fan. I just need one of 2 things. I either need Bam Adebayo to stop talking about the Defensive Player of the Year award, or ... I need the media to stop asking him about it. And I actually think it's more on the media than on Bam, because if you ask him about it, it triggers him. It makes him mad. He thinks he should have already won the award. I don't. And I do recognize he's one of the better defenders in the NBA. But it's an annoying narrative. It keeps coming back up. And I think what it probably is the Miami media placating him. I don't really have anything else. I don't know. It's a boring Heat game tonight. Let's ask Bam about DPOY. We'll get some good sound then. Okay. But this has been going on for years with no end in sight. So, okay. So if the media is going to keep doing this, then Bam, don't take the bait anymore. Say, I'm tired of that question. I don't want to answer that question anymore. Okay, but here's what Bam Adebayo said when asked about this award for I'm going to use B-Dot's number, the 146th time. Okay, he said, quote, I can't worry about that because He said, I can't worry about that because it's political. I don't want to beg my way to it. If I get it, get cool. I don't know what the end of that is. If I get cool, whatever. But I can't worry about that now. It's political. The DPOY award is not political at all. Okay, what it is a bunch of media members guessing. That's what DPOY is. Okay, and sometimes they go into the analytics. But I can tell you right now, the DPOYs, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard, right, Hakeem Olajuwon, like the defensive player of the year, the historical guys, right? What do? They block a million shots. Okay, Dikembe Mutombo, right? What he went 3 or 4 DPOYs, blocking 4 damn shots a game. Okay, Bam Adebayo doesn't even block 1 shot per game. And I understand the defense is way more than that, and he covers multiple players, multiple positions, the perimeter, the paint. He's made huge defensive plays in the playoffs. I freaking get it. Okay, but if you are going to block 0.9, 1.1 shots per game, you're not going to win DPOY. They got a guy in San Antonio right now who's blocking 5 shots a game. Please stop asking Bam Adebayo about DPOY. Thank you.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it. I mean,
agree.
the other night they was playing against Luka. I mean, not many people can guard Luka, but that boy.
He's back.
Can y'all hear me? See,
Tell your kids stop playing with the pug.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
I mean, people calling me. I'm sorry. I'm a popular guy, y'all. I apologize. But
He is. Well,
It's called it's called do not disturb on your phone. Won't happen.
I know, man. My kid's mama crazy though. But look, like I said, why you don't do not disturb? It's the middle of the day. See, look. Like I was saying, Luka had that boy looking like Usher at the skating rink. Okay, and I understand, Bam. I know it's tough going back home to Aja, because I know she looking at you like, come on, man, you could have did better than that. It's tough going back when your woman's a 4-time champion. It's like when Reggie Miller had 40 and he went back home and Cheryl Miller had 108. It ain't no winning, man. It's no winning. And Bam on my fantasy team, so I'm always wishing the best for him. But like Rick said, man, you just gotta just avoid the question. I don't want to talk about it and keep it moving. So I 100% agree with you, Rick. Bam, leave it alone. All right, leave it.
Just rise above, man. Rise again, Bam. I love you. I do. And this is like I said, more of a Miami media. Stop asking Bam about DPOY. Do better. Think of something else. What's your favorite color? Okay. What's the last big purchase you made? All right. What's your dream vacation? How many countries do you own a home in? Like anything but DPOY. There's a whole world. There's a whole spectrum of colors and imagination. Please plug into it. Guys, any other final words, or are we out of here?
Go Cowboys.
Oh,
Pray
boy.
for the Cowboys.
Go Knicks.
All right, we are
Go
out,
beyond the
ladies and gentlemen.
surface.
We certainly do.
There you go, Aaron.
This has been Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. I'm Rick Kamla. For Dennis Scott, for Dr. Phil McDonald, for AM Pfeffer, for B-Dot, and for Dwight Walton, and for our technical director, Kai, and our producer, Jason. We out. We will see you Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with another edition of Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Bye-bye.